Hey!
Hello,
Welcome!
buddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Top of the morning to ya. Where am I going?
What is happening?
Hello,
This isn't even our ad spot.
It's morning somewhere.
Would be better.
Yeah.
This isn't even our ad spot. Parlay! You say parlay? Okay, I don't know where I'm at.
I don't know.
Justice for John. Anyway,
I'm into it.
I think we're on
we
Tales
could
of
just-
Initiative.
we-
Playing
we are
Vengalia.
welcome to Tales of Initiative. Yeah, we could just do this all day, and that wouldn't be nearly as much fun for anybody else. But I don't want to do that anyway. I want to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All the time.
that's good. And
Constantly.
I want, you know what I want more than anything right now?
Sig
I want an ad spot. I want an ad spot. That's what I really, really want. Zig is
Somehow I'm
A.
not mentally
Okay.
prepared for this.
Well, you gotta get with
But
my
yeah,
friends
I
first.
really, well, thankfully we're all here, and I really, 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 really want this ad spot. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a need that only this ad spot can
A
scratch.
deep need.
So I guess let's get to it, guys. Let's see what do we have for our ad spot today.
Dad, do you ever have that not so fresh feeling?
What?
Sometimes I just don't feel fresh even after changing dice.
Oh, I see. We all get that not so fresh feeling sometimes.
Oh, well, what do you do about it?
I skadoosh.
What?
Skadoosh with Dyson Gill.
What's Dyson gill?
It's an infusion of new dice from Fernway.
That sounds really complicated.
Oh, it isn't. You just place an order through their website and use promo code TOI10, and you will save 10% on your order.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
It really isn't. And Dyson Gill has Effect Hall, so you know that your rolls are going to be better.
I've always liked Fernway dice. Their design is fresh and invigorating.
And it is doctor recommended, so you know that you're getting the best.
I'm Dr. Dice, and if you are struggling with dry dice, then I highly recommend Dyson Gill. Dyson Gill with Effectol for effective dice rolling any time of the month. You can trust Fernway Dice for all your skadooshing needs.
Dad, I think I need to start skadooshing too. Can you show me how?
Of course, son. First, you go to the Fernway Dice Store.
Like this?
That's right, kiddo.
Okay, what next?
You select the Dyson Gill product that is right for you. pH balance is important, and this varies from person to person depending on the size and style that you like. Since this is your first time, why don't you try that shiny set right there?
Okay, that's a good idea.
Alright, now you go to checkout and see right there it asks for promo code. Put in TOI10.
Okay, I did that.
And now you click checkout and finish your transaction. And the product will be sent right to you in discreet packaging.
Okay, done.
Awesome job, son. I knew you could do it.
Thank you, Dad, and thank you, Dr. Dice.
With Dyson Gill's skadoosh, you will never have those not so fresh dice ever again.
Thanks Dyson Gill. And
Thanks,
thanks
Fernway.
Fernway.
We're very sorry. Oh. All right.
Everybody, it's been wonderful.
You guys nailed the unison. I was proud.
Thanks,
That was
guys.
really,
Oh my lordy.
Uh,
That was fun and informative.
was something.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very limbered up after that experience.
Does everybody feel fresh now?
Everyone's
I'm-
feeling fresh.
Fresh
Thank
as
you
a
for letting
Scottish
me-
field.
Indeed.
Thank you, Fernway Dice, for everything. Also, in regards to Fernway Dice, don't forget, we will be doing a summer solstice dice giveaway on Wednesday, June 15th, as part of our stream. You will, as soon as we have a picture of the dice that we will be giving away, we will be showing them off. But in the corner there, right now, is a picture of a set of Fernway dice, just for an example of what they look like. So be sure to check in. You must be present in order to win, because it will be a giveaway during our break of that episode. So be sure to check that out, because it's going to be awesome. We also have returning sponsors, Emberwind and TA Maps. So make sure you are visiting all our sponsors. Check them out if you have needs for your home games, or if you're looking for a new experience in your home tabletop games. They are both spectacular resources. Day 20. Do we have anything we want to say about them?
Not yet, but there will be news coming soon. There actually is a actually I lied. There's a discount code that will be dropping into chat for 20% off the Court of Seasons, which is a fun Feywild seasonal one-shot type adventure if you're looking for something to run. And it works for any level. So like level 1 to level 20, you can still play the same adventure.
That's really cool. That's hard.
Yes.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah,
job.
it's
Good job.
fun. It's really cool.
Our website is complete and up again, like our updated website with all the new shinies. There's going to be some updated merch launching soon, including some merch specifically to Sunset. So if you have things that you'd like, hey, this would be cool merch, like, hey, drop that in the comments and we'll see it and we'll be like, hey, people say that would be cool merch. And not just you, Haley. You can't be the only one dropping stuff in the comments about what cool merch would be. Like, just don't.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Run, go get yourself a Dyson Gill t-shirt right now.
Run.
Run, don't walk. They come pre-moistened.
Oh no. Well,
No.
we're gonna allow you a second to go grab your vomit bag and your
Vomit bag.
your snacks. Let's get comfy. Let's get cozy, everybody. Let's just really embrace that fresh feeling as we head into this episode of Sunset over Vengalia. The heroes have found William Pasternak. The problem is they are now sealed behind a magical door, and they're faced with a riddle that they must solve in order to open the door. The riddle appears to have two possible answers, each leading to a different destination. One, back the way they came, and to be able to return to Balantor, and the other simply labeled as the path to the other side. After figuring out the method for opening the door using a series of spells and natural remedies to involve a seed that they found in the dirt to cause it to evolve through the seasons, they find that the way to open the door to the others, to the way back home, so they're able to set William outside to keep him safe. H.E.R.O.E.S is not able to leave it alone and says he has to find out what's going to be on the other side, and everyone agrees to accompany him in that effort. After figuring out the method for opening the door to the other side, they are confronted by three devils that are trying to find a way into the material plane. While one of the devils is attempting to convince the party to surrender and serve, Vix places a crossbow bolt in its shoulder. This leads the party to engaging in a fierce battle with the devils and struggling not to kill them, but to keep them dead, as every time they kill a devil, it gets back up. The party then realizes they have to destroy the chains that are emerging from the portal and anchoring it to this plane. After they figure that out, the party is able to finally send the devils back to the Hells. Once defeated, the door that was protecting them, the devils from escaping, crumbles, exposing the way back. The party takes the weakened but recovering William back home via a rowboat that they had found docked to an underground river. Returning him to the loving arms of his family, the party finds their beds for the night. In the morning, the party is approached by Magister Aron, who once again thanks them for helping save the community and provide for a community in a way that his people could not. Learning that the party intends to leave as soon as possible for Loch HIllbrand, he asks if they might be willing to accompany the trader Eldin Bagwell, as he is wanting to set up a permanent shop in Loch HIllbrand. Agreeing to this, the party decides to leave in 2 hours, giving anyone who needs it time to say farewell. Rose has farewell tea and pancakes with her cousin, leaving with a handful of pancakes for the road. Edie accompanies Magister H.E.R.O.E.S back to his house and runs up to spend some time with Sarah before leaving, also coming back with pocketfuls of cookies for the road. The party greets Eldin Bagwell, says their goodbye to Balantor and the friends they've made there, and set out on the path to Loch HIllbrand with a letter of introduction and commendation from Magister H.E.R.O.E.S to try to find out more about the undead that have attacked Balantor. And that is where we pick up today. Balantor is faded behind you. The road ahead of you is fairly known, not heavily traveled, but it's known. It's a common path between Balantor and Loch HIllbrand. As you travel the path, you get closer to the home of Arati and Nemea, your former home. Is there anything that you would like to do as you're passing?
Guys, just give me a minute.
Of course.
Certainly.
She's gonna apologize for the dog snoring in the background and restock herbalism kit, avoiding any bloodstains, and she'll stop by the grave for a moment and then rejoin.
Okay. The day is yours. The journey is long. It's about 3 days from here to Loch HIllbrand. Eldon is following along. He's kind of riding on a little seat that he's had carved in front of his cart. His pony pulling his cart, and he's just kind of humming and singing to himself. It's a beautiful day for traveling. Don't you agree?
Definitely. It's always a great day to just go out and explore, really.
Have you ever been to Loch HIllbrand before?
Oh, I was about to ask if maybe you had. No, I don't. Has anyone here been? I don't think any of us have.
Balantor was the first place I'd been to that was not home.
Oh, well, let me tell you that Loch HIllbrand is something else. It is just this shining beacon of civilization. There's parks, there is people, there's markets, and it's going to be the next big town. Just you wait. Everybody is going to be clamoring to come to my shop there. It's going to be huge. Say, you wouldn't perhaps want to invest in the market to get in on the ground level, huh? Be my financial backers?
What would a sort of an angel fund round of investment look like in such an upstart? And what exactly do you sell?
Yeah,
Well,
what's your shop?
Right. I mean, it's it's right now. It's all this in the cart, and it's going to be, we're going to sell like cool items that like you can't just find everywhere. It's going to be like an eclectic collection of who's it's and what's it's and things like that. Like all the cool things. There'll be some weapons probably, and maybe some magical doodads and paper probably, because people need paper. I think that maybe like some dog food. I don't know. I haven't fully worked out the plan yet.
Oh,
But like I'm a trader right now, so I trade like everything. So I really have to like fine tune it. But I do pretty well. Like I travel around a lot, and I do pretty well. I mean, I wouldn't keep doing it otherwise. But I really feel like if I set up a shop, I can have like Eldon's Bazaar of Wonders, and it'll be really huge.
Ah, I like that. I think you sound like you have really great ideas. I like the idea. Just have that array of different things you could sell. And
Yeah. I mean, because people sometimes just walk in like, I didn't know I needed that until they see it, and then they have to get it because they saw it. And anybody can go to just like a blacksmith to get a sword, or they can get armor, or whatever, or they can go to an herbalism shop to buy plants and stuff. But what if they want just that one like really neat thing that like just doesn't really have a home in other stores?
You've got the
I
name
like it.
spot on. I'm just a little bit.
Oh.
Have you done this before? You said that you tour around all the place. Have you made a
Well,
proper one-stop shop, so to speak, before?
no, this will be my first. Me and Gary here have been on the road together for a few years, and we make a nice little profit. But it's again, we trade things. So you give me something, I give you something, and kind of like one of those things where like if you have a paperclip, I try to get something better than the paperclip, but you want my paperclip. Like I'm always trying to turn it into something bigger and better. And I figured, what's bigger and better than a cart? A shop, right? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Who's Gary?
Oh, Gary's my pony.
So,
Oh,
do
yeah.
you not actually have a storefront yet?
Technically, I'm writing on it right now. This is my normal shop, but I know that with Loch HIllbrand being the up and coming metropolis that it's going to be, that I mean, I've got money to start a shop. That's not an issue. I'd like people who want to invest in the dream with me to help me be even bigger. Others, I mean, I'll just do it on my own. It's fine.
Can
But-
I make some kind of check?
Yeah,
Is
you can-
like Loch HIllbrand an up and coming place? Like I've been around a lot. Like, is this a place that I've heard of?
So for that, you can do a history check.
Could I do an insight check to see how much
Sure.
he's making this up on the fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Would it have to be a history
Well-
check?
Well, I think you have a good enthusiasm, and that's the main thing. Your attitude. That's pretty much back in my home village. I remember someone I actually was friends with in childhood that it was like about a year or two ago. They also set up a shop, and if they could do it, you could too. You just have to keep up the good attitude.
Thank you. That's so kind. What'd you roll for history, Conlon?
A 6.
Okay. I mean, you know that Loch HIllbrand exists. The party even has a map of it. The map's several years old, but it looked, I mean, fairly.
Big place.
It's bigger than Balantor. It sits right on a lake. The map that you guys had showed it being a pretty nice place. There is a big park in the middle. There was like a bazaar area that. So it seems like he's, as far as you can tell, is from that information. Yeah, he's could be right.
There's
would
a
you-
major temple there too, right?
There is a temple to Dyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Vix, what'd you roll for insight?
Dirty 20.
Okay. He seems like he's making a lot of this up. He does clearly have a shop. He's a trader. He does clearly seem like he wants to set up a shop. His plan seems like it's more something that he's coming up with on the fly, that he hasn't really given that a whole lot of thought. But investors make the world go round. So he's like, hey, you guys might have money.
Well, I do.
What,
I agree with Rose here that your passion and your verve sort of speaks highly of you. I want the best for you. Maybe if I get a windfall myself, I'd be happy to. Right now, I'm running a little scant. I had to pick up some things in the last town.
Sure. I understand. Investing's not for everybody. Only people who really have that aim for the future, that drive to be great. I understand.
Indeed, I'm far more interested in the mediocre. Yes.
What sort of investment are you looking for?
Yeah, I could probably spare a few gold.
I mean, it's really your level investment. Let me give it some thought. I'll come up with a presentation.
Yeah, you do that.
What kind of stuff have you got back here? And Edie wants to be trying to climb up into the back of the wagon to look.
Okay. Go ahead and as you're climbing in the back of the wagon, go ahead and make a dex check just to see how nimbly you are able to get up in a moving wagon while it's walking. You're not moving at a super fast speed, I'm imagining, so it won't be a super high
13.
DC. Yeah, easy enough. You kind of have to pace yourself and you stumble a little bit, but you manage to get up on the back and kind of sit on the side of the cart. Make an investigation check now, just to see what kind of things you'd find out here.
Eight.
You on the top, you find a lot of like stuff that he's like clothing and stuff that he's put on to like kind of pad and stuff, and without like really digging through and taking the time, you feel some harder substances underneath, but a lot of it, what you're finding is the padding and the things meant to protect the packaging that's inside.
Any cute pieces of clothing?
There's, I mean, some that Edie might consider cute. Absolutely, Edie has a very eclectic taste. There's a lot of like bright, like colors and stuff like that. Some plaids and lines that would definitely clash in very
Edie
bright colors.
Edie pops her head out and looks over. She's like, oh, "Wow, look at all of this beautiful." Yeah, I'm definitely investing, and she's like just holding on to all the colors.
Tell you what,
Wow.
if you get me to Loch HIllbrand safe, I'll give you some of those as a reward.
Okay, deal. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a deal.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that would look so good on you.
I would like somebody to go ahead. What's kind of your like marching order in this? How are you guys positioning? So like right now, Edie seems to be in the cart, like in the back of the cart. What's everybody else doing?
Neme would be towards the back.
Probably
pretty
towards
small,
the
right?
front.
Okay. What was that course?
The cart's pretty small, right?
Yeah, it's small enough to be pulled by like a Shetland pony kind of thing, but big enough because he's a tiny little person to kind of hold the supplies and stuff. But yeah, it's not big enough for everybody to ride in. And
Yeah, I think Chorus is in the lead. Just navigating and generally keeping an eye out.
okay, go ahead and make a survival check just to follow the path. It's a pretty well known road, so it's not like it's super high DC. Just to make sure you stay on path.
12.
Okay, easy enough. You guys make your way along, and as you're going, it's actually it's a beautiful day. Sun's out and shining, and some of you like notice it's getting really hot and some reddening of the skin. Some of you are getting a little sunburn at the early part of the day. Specifically, probably Rose and possibly Edie. I'm not sure about Vix, what sunburn would do to changeling skin, but it's
The real world building questions.
Nemea's totally fine.
I think.
Edie's got
Oh, sorry.
over the top of her, so she's all covered. No, so she doesn't actually get burned.
I think the group is noticing that Vix's apparel is actually looks very well designed for a hot day. They've sort of moved the shawl around to be able to leave some of their skin open to the air and sort of getting good airflow, but loose pants are doing their job of not being uncomfortable and still protecting them from the sun. They don't actually have a lot of exposed skin when they don't want to.
Okay. As you guys continue on your journey, is there anything in particular you guys wanted to talk about as you're moving through, or do you want to kind of save that for camp?
Just rummaging through May's pouch of herbs and stuff. She's just gonna walk up, bump Vix on the elbow, and give them a bit of root again, and then drop back. And she'll go stand next to Rose and open up one of her wings and sort of give her a bit of shade.
Aww.
Thank you.
She's not saying anything, but She's still trying to care for everyone. She
Yeah,
eats her
she's
own
just-
rot root.
Vic,
It's like, oh,
Vix gives a little nod. This will help with the coping. Tears off a bit and starts chewing it.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I think
Sure is nice to have somebody to travel with rather than doing this alone. Gary doesn't talk much.
I'm sure he does. Or it's just gonna be like, Gary, what's on your mind?
Nobody's ever asked me that before. Well, thank you. I'm just, I'm a little worried about the lack of
Uh-oh.
Could be gratitude, could be
no.
grass. We have no idea.
Could be
Oh
gravity.
no.
Could be
You guys?
gravity. There's a lack of
Define
gravity in
it.
Loch
Like a
HIllbrand.
But
Whoa,
did I
we're
freeze?
You're back.
suddenly
Yeah, you're
floating.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Am
You're
I back?
back,
Okay.
Elston.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the lack of grass as we're moving along. If we're being honest, I mean there's some there, but what about our children? Like, is there going to be enough grass for my children?
I'm sure. And if not, I'm sure that I'll find a way to make some more grass. Don't you worry. Are you worried about food for the journey? Because I could always help with that if you want.
No, I mean I'm
Got
not.
some
I'm
extra
not.
rations.
I mean I'm not so worried about food for the journey, but just long term, like with the state of affairs in the world, there could be a grass shortage, and if there's a grass shortage, I just know that people are going to hoard grass, and then who's gonna have grass? What's Eldon gonna do? I mean, I've never even seen him eat grass.
Yeah.
He leaves it all for me, and that's like really sweet, but I don't even know.
I'm sure that won't happen. Don't worry. That's just a worry about the future. There's so much grass. There's grass everywhere. You see? She's just gonna like pluck some grass here. And with people like me in the world who are in tune with nature, we will make sure that the grass doesn't run out. Promise.
Okay, that's good to hear. What about alfalfa? If there's not enough alfalfa to really offset and then he just kind of goes on like he's just Gary's kind of a warrior.
You just see like Rose walking alongside the pony, just having a like, just like you're just like, what's happening?
This is the beginning of Rose's like eco-terrorist animal mafia.
She is a druid.
Yes. Level like 20, she is just like the BBEG.
After we've been walking for a little bit and like everybody's kind of fallen into a rhythm, I drop back to Edie. Edie, do you have a minute? I was very sorry to hear about you spending your birthday in the swamp alone. So, on behalf of the group, I wanted to get you a little something. And Chorus reaches into his pocket and pulls out a gold necklace with oval jets in it, and it's got like a flower charm on it. It's not much, but you're our friend now, so happy birthday.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever gotten from someone before. Edie kind of holds it close to her and will you put it on me?
Absolutely.
Do that. And thank you. She's got to give you the biggest hug, biggest hug. Squeeze where you crack a little bit.
Chorus doesn't.
Don't you
say
have a
it.
strength of 6?
My strength is 10.
Oh, okay. That's right, your intelligence is 6.
My intelligence. Thank you. I did know I was going to spend my birthday alone, but if I had to do that to meet you guys, then it was worth it. Thank you.
Of course, spent a number of birthdays alone, and it is never the most fun.
That was my first one.
Hopefully the last as well.
Yeah. Edie wants to like kind of put her hand out to like see if you want to hold it.
Chorus. Yeah. Chorus holds Edie's hand as they're walking. Yeah.
While Edie's in the cart.
No, Edie was gotten down.
Oh, okay. I mean, it would have been cute either way. That's just adorable.
Too much cute.
Is Edie like one of those like hand swingers, just like swinging Chorus's arm around and just flopping as you walk?
For sure.
Aww.
Because that when you swing, you can make more jingles.
The bell Edie gave Chorus is on the right side, so as you're doing that, yeah, it just like it jingles every time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Every now and again, you just hear a little giggle.
I love that so much. All right. Anything else you guys are wanting to do while you journey?
Vix is sort of idly messing around with those tools they picked up from Guard Captain Xander. They don't have any practice locks, but they're just sort of like rippling them from knuckle to knuckle, like working on just like messing with them and kind of like balancing them in their hand and getting used to the finer points of using them.
Fair enough. All right. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check. And go ahead and give me another survival check, if you would, of course.
Nope.
It's a 17 for the survival check,
Okay.
and a 6 for the perception.
You're just so focused on keeping everybody on the right track.
5.
Okay.
I'm
11.
enjoying the hand holding.
Nemea?
I got you. Oh, sorry, Nemea.
10 at disadvantage. Otherwise, it would have been a 16.
Yes. You're just enjoying the walk. You don't see anything really around you. Nothing jumps out.
No,
I, just,
no.
I only got a 4.
You guys, yeah. You guys are moving at, I'm gonna guess, just a pretty normal pace, right? There's not any like rush to your movements.
Yeah,
Okay. 4 hours goes by. Feel you guys are getting a little hungry, maybe. You guys can eat. You have rations and stuff like that. Eat on the road. 6 hours goes by. 8 hours goes by. It's getting to be like evening time. It's around probably like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. There's still some more daylight left. You guys can push on a little more if you want, or you can start the process of trying to look for a camp site, whatever you guys want to do.
What about you, Eldon? Do you have any recommendations on how quickly? Well, I'm not in a particular rush, but are you? And what's the sort of any good waypoints on the road between here and Loch HIllbrand?
Well, I honestly I haven't been to Loch HIllbrand in a while. It's so I'm not sure, but I usually just sleep under my cart, and so that provides a lot of shelter for me. But you guys can't necessarily do that. So I'm good to, as long as we, with you guys, I feel safe. So we can go wherever you want, and then maybe we can cook something over a fire and like sing songs or something. Like we could make it a real event.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
It's been some time since I've been part of a proper caravan. Very nice.
I think as we've been making our way, Chorus, after holding hands with Edie for as long as that would go on,
Sweaty palms.
Yeah.
Music, yeah.
Is like, are there
Edie
like
does
woods
not
and
like
stuff around the road?
Yeah, I mean, all along the way, there's kind of like scattered woods here and there. There's some stretches of pretty empty plains as well. And if you guys hadn't rolled so poorly, you probably would have seen some like deer, like feeding in the fields and stuff like that. It's actually a really nice, pleasant journey at this leg. So You guys, yeah, there's definitely some woods and stuff like that.
Cool. So my background lets me, like, throughout the day as we're traveling, get like berries and small game and stuff. So I think Chorus would have been like just every now and then darting into the woods, coming back with like a little rabbit or like some berries and, you know, foraged food. And he's starting to build up a nice little pile. I can feed up to 6 people.
Okay, which is what you guys
party.
currently have.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So you come up with enough meat and fruit and wild game, or wild vegetation, to be able to have a decent campfire dinner. Are you guys wanting to start looking for a camp then?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make. I'll say, since more than one of you are going to do it, I'll say go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, or 2 of you can roll separately.
I have a background thingy that lets me find safe haven, but I can't find it on D&D Beyond.
Under description.
End of description. Ah, thank you. Let me read it first.
That's
In my
within
like
world.
civilizations.
That's rubble belt refuge. We're familiar with
In
areas
addition,
of
you
the
can find food and
city
fresh water.
within a
Suitable
city.
place for you and your allies to. Okay, that's fine.
But that'll be good to know once you get to the city.
Yeah, sure.
I can do an investigation if
Was it a survival, did you say?
Investigation.
Oh, then don't. I'm not doing it.
did somebody else want to do it, or should I do it at advantage?
Go with it.
I'll
Advantage.
give you advantage.
Okay. I shall re-roll that. Okay. The second one was much better. Thanks, everybody. That is going to be a... Why is my brain 23?
Okay. Not very far away actually from where you're at. Like, Chorus has just come back with more rabbits and vegetation and stuff. And we should stop for the night and soon. And you notice that there actually appears to be like a little trail that leads off the main stretch of road into like a little wooded area. And as you kind of follow down it, it seems like it actually has been cleared and used by passerbyers before. There's even an area that's been like, you can see a fire pit that's been kind of used and then the fire put out, but it's been fairly well maintained. There's actually even some wood that's been left there, kind of as like a pile for future users to come by and have some campfire. Not necessarily enough for the night, but there's some to get you started.
This looks promising. Seems like a good spot as any to make camp.
I'll get started on the fire.
I can go gather some twigs.
I'll start cooking.
All right. Eldon gets down and kind of sets up. It takes Gary off the wagon and kind of leads him over to some grassy area to let him feed, brushes him down. Rose, Nemea, what are you guys doing while they're preparing?
I think probably go help with just help out help with the fire and with the cooking as well.
Okay.
If Vix is getting twigs and stuff, Nemea will go in the opposite direction for bigger, more slow burning logs and
Okay, looking
branches
for logs
to
and stuff.
go through
Okay.
the night. Yeah.
So for the 2 of you, go ahead and make a survival check just to see what you're going to find.
God damn it. Why do I keep saying we're...
You could do it. I believe in you.
Oh no. Okay. Wait. Oh no, wrong thing. 14.
The suspense is killing me. You're in the woods. Wood is plentiful. You're able to find a decent supply of logs and bigger branches to come back to help supplement, like to keep the fire going longer. Vix?
Just a 9 for me. Hopefully that wood's
You're,
still plentiful.
you're also in the woods. There's plenty of sticks on the ground. It's not too hard. You find some is a little more wet than the others, but you between what you've had there already there, you feel like you're pretty confident that you'll be able to get a fire going easily enough. For fun, you have you have a flame cantrip, don't you? That you can kind of start. You have control bonfire, something or create bonfire.
No, I don't have create bonfire.
No, I
I
meant Edie.
Oh, sorry.
I just have prestidigitation when you can light a small campfire. Easy peasy.
Oh, there you go. There we go. So
Nice.
easy enough. You light a fire, and you guys get the fire going. Of course, you make a meal. Do you want to roll to see how delicious the meal is?
Sure.
Go ahead and do a performance. I'll do performance, but it can be
God.
dex. But it can be dex based instead of charisma based.
I have a -1 on.
Can it be an
Performance.
advantage because Rose is helping?
Yeah, add advantage too.
Dex.
I'll let it be dex
is-
based. Yeah,
Okay.
or intelligence based. Either one. That may
that
not
is
benefit you.
No, my intelligence is not good either. That's a 16.
Okay. It's actually a very good meal. The rabbit is well cooked. It's not dry, which is, risky with little tiny rodents over an open flame. Not rodents, but the berries and stuff that he added makes a really nice addition. So you guys have a very lovely camp meal, and you guys just feel satisfied. You're sitting around passing around. I don't know if you have anything to pass around. At least you have your water skins. But you guys have just had a nice meal, and Eldon's sitting back, and he's like rubbing his stomach and smoking his pipe, and he's like, "That was incredible. I should hire you as my cook."
Yes, we're rather spoiled here, I'd say. I'm used to dry meat and nuts a bit.
Spent a lot of years out in the wilds. You learn to cook rabbit and berries very well.
Done well. This is delicious.
Well, been a while since I've spent time with a group like this, but you guys like to play a game, tell some stories?
Yes.
Eldon's like, "Yeah, I love stories. Oh, stories are so good."
All right. Chorus pulls out a deck of cards and gives it a shuffle. Hold on. I want to see. I shouldn't have done this. He dropped all the cards.
I should not have done this. Oh no!
Oh, I haven't practiced that for a while. Never mind. He shuffles them up, gets them back in. Now, the way this works is we will all draw a card, and depending on what suit you draw, you'll tell a story of love, a story of pain, a story of loss, or a story of gain. So, if everyone wants to draw a card, passes them
Certainly.
around.
Sure. The mayor will take the first card.
Cool.
Give my deck one more shuffle.
Do I just click it?
I don't know how this works. There we go.
Oh.
And apparently the jokers came off first. We're using a shared deck of cards here.
I don't see Eldon in here, but I put his name in and everything.
Oh,
but...
weird.
I got a... Oh, can I say?
Ooh.
Oh,
Sure.
I
Oh,
got
no,
the
they're
King
not.
of Diamonds. Oh, no, they're not. They were
Diamond
all...
is
Everyone got diamonds.
Hang on. Yeah, we all got diamonds.
Okay. Well, let's roll. Let's draw again, since
yeah.
If y'all want, I do
Why
have
not
a physical
more
deck,
diamonds
and I
as
can
well?
just draw them.
we could also
Draw
just
them
have
Do
for
you
it.
y'all.
do it.
Just,
Yeah,
Okay.
go for
Yeah.
it. That's
Okay.
easier.
Alright, Nemea
this
take
was
the
a-
top card.
The top card is the Four of Wands. So that is going to be my little thing here. Wands is a story of pain.
Oh.
I'll draw next.
Have fun with that. Yeah, we'll draw. That way everyone can start thinking.
Yeah,
Start thinking of
there.
your story.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that. Go through everybody here.
Yours is going to be the Knight of Cups. So you get a story of love, of course.
Eldon will come in and grab a card.
Eldon's card is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. So story of gain.
Oh.
Fitting.
And Rose is gonna grab a card. And after that.
the Page of Cups, also a story of love.
Ooh.
He's gonna grab a card.
And the Five of Swords, a story of loss.
Ooh.
Story of loss.
And then mine is going to be, I drew my favorite card. The Four of Swords, so also a story of loss.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Does anybody have their story ready and want to go first? You don't have to go in order.
Wait, was mine pain?
Yours was pain, yeah. The Four of Wands, yeah. If no one else has anything coming to mind, I can lead the way.
Yeah. Go for it.
A story of loss. I'll try and keep it a little bit less personal. There once was a man from Nantucket. No, there was...
Where's Nantucket?
There was a merchant. And as many stories of loss start, that merchant fell in love. The person they were in love with was adventurous and keen and full of justice. But sadly, that justice meant that they had to spend a lot of time apart. Still, there was love between those moments away, and they had a large family. One day the merchant's lover fell. They died, doing what it was that they were called to do. And while that loss was immense, and meant that the family drifted away, unbound to any of their fallen mothers, it's hard to say what it is, destiny or purpose? They didn't have that inheritance, and so they chose a different road. It was still fruitful, but it did mean that they were sacrificing a legacy that the merchant had very deeply wanted to have be a part of their life forever. Apologies if that was terribly vague.
Oh.
Eldon leans over to Edie. Do you have any idea what he was talking about?
No.
I'm
thought this was
completely
about
lost.
a story about what he's lost.
Yeah, excuse me. And he raises his hand.
Yes. Apparently this is a lecture. Questions?
I don't get it.
That's fair. I didn't use any names or anything really there, so it would make sense for that.
Did he lose a dog?
No.
Oh.
There was
A dog.
There was an elven woman, marked as a hero among her people, and there was this gnomish fellow who deeply appreciated everything that the elf was doing for the community, for him personally, and they would go on to have many children. But it is the sad part of this story is that the elven woman did die, and sort of left that the family was always taken care of. But it is hard to remain a part of something when your singular tie to it no longer exists.
That's true.
Sorry, it's an old custom. We rarely use names in our stories, so that it's easier for one to see yourself in them.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'll try that.
You don't have to. It's a very it's a bit esoteric, I admit, and it makes for, I'm afraid, very boring stories.
Oh,
Well, it was
I
good
think it
that
was-
you
I think it was
started then.
interesting.
Yes, the
Be-
only
Oh.
up from here. Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Exactly.
no.
Like sometimes
I
people tell a
liked your
story and it's like,
story.
how can I ever like top that? And now like everybody's like, oh, I can top that. So that's good.
Exactly.
You helped.
Wow.
I crashed
Oh.
down to the floor. I've given you plenty of basement off to work with.
And no offense, I didn't mean to like to say that you were boring or anything. That's not what I wasn't trying to say.
My theatrics are far more of a far more show than tell, I think.
Who's gonna go next?
I don't mind.
Okay.
All right, so mine is a story of love. Well, I think there's a lot of love that's been in my life. I've even experienced all the love of different animals. You would never believe the love songs that birds sing. Sometimes a little bit graphic, but most of them are sweet. But I'd say that this story has to be about my parents and how they met and how they fell in love. A little bit more personal, but I just think it's really sweet. They were both actually apprentices back in my village, of the same village healer, but they met they met a little bit earlier in the summer before they started being apprentices. They were both actually spending time out in the sun in this one same field on the village outskirts that's covered in these beautiful purple and pink flowers. And my mom was drawing the landscape, and my dad was out feeding the birds in the area. And she actually ended up drawing him and including him in one of her little sketches. And he noticed that she was kind of looking at him while drawing and was just like, what's going on? And walked on over and discovered the drawing, and she was a little bit like taken off guard, but he really liked it. And from there the two of them ended up chatting for hours actually into the sunset. And it was after that they didn't really encounter each other much until weeks later they met again as assigned apprentices, and they realized they were both assigned to the same one, and there were two others taking apprentices, so it was quite the coincidence. And well, the rest is history. From there they got closer, they fell in love, and they actually later married and were wed in that field of flowers.
That was a beautiful story, Rose.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
That's really sweet.
That's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of how I'm used to hearing stories. That's really good.
Thank you.
I want to
Uh,
get married in a field of flowers.
Me too.
Really?
And with that,
Oh.
I suppose.
Sorry, follow-up question. Is that how you got your name? For being in a field of flowers?
I think so. I mean, my full name was with Rosalie, but I think that I believe it was inspired. I know I was actually well, I have a twin. I'm one of the oldest. So, yeah. That's the inspiration. Quite a few of my siblings also have flower related names. So I'm not the only one. I'm just
I like that. That is a very good story.
Thank you.
Suppose I could follow up. Mine's also a story of love. This is a story I heard many years ago in my travels. This is not a story so much of romantic love, but of familial love. It's the story of a father and his two sons. one born brighter than the sun, and the other born with a bit of darkness. They both were loved strongly by their father, who raised them and taught them to share their light and shelter those who would fear their darkness. The first son, sort of prodigal, if you will, born to become something special, was working towards the path of a paladin, becoming a servant of good. The second, the darker one, taking a pledge to the angels that they both followed, and gaining some power that way. They, as I said, were loved deeply by their father, who showered them with compliments, and they had many other siblings, but they were definitely the ones who were the more vivacious. And the story, I'm not very good at telling stories, clearly, but the story sort of continues. They spend many hours training together and playing together, becoming best of friends and brothers, and they eventually go out into the world, and they fight many dark things, returning victorious to their father each time. And many years later, their father, on his deathbed, calls them both in, and tells them how proud he is of them, and how he would like them to continue to share their light and their protection with the world. And they return out into the world and continue to be heroes. There's many other stories of them, but I've always loved their origin story of sort of their fathers and the familial love that was there. I apologize if that story didn't make a lot of sense, but...
That was a good one.
That was very sweet.
Yeah, they were heroes and fighters, and it's very cool.
And brothers and best friends.
And they loved each other. So good. There's a story of love in Maya.
Yep.
Who's next?
I'm aware of the theme.
I can go if
Sure.
you'd like. Mine is a story of gain.
Wow.
When I grew up in a little village, there was a family that lived not next. We didn't have like next door, but they lived nearby, and they had a daughter, and her name was Stacy. And I would go hang out with her because my parents were always busy, and like she was all right. Like we kind of fought. Like but we were still like, she was like the closest person to my age, so we still like ended up spending time together. And my parents were busy a lot, and so I didn't stay at home a lot. And Stacy's family like kind of took me in as kind of like the stray cat kind of thing. And they often let me come over for dinner. And Stacy, like, she was okay, but her mom
No.
was such a good cook. And she made this dish that was like noodles and like sauce. And I was like, Stacy's mom, this sauce has got it going on. And I want this sauce. Like, can you teach me how to make this? And so we spent some time together, and she taught me how to make this sauce. And so I gained the recipe for this sauce to go on this pasta. And now I have that. That was something I gained. And also she was pretty. And that was my story.
I would love to try the dish sometime. You'll have to make it for us.
Yeah.
I will. Only when
Yeah,
we get
the
to Loch
recipe.
HIllbrand and I've set up my
Yeah.
shop. Yeah.
That would be
Ah.
good.
But what do you call this sauce? Out of curiosity.
Don't.
I haven't really come up with a name with it yet, but maybe I could sell the sauce out of my store as well. Maybe you can help me come up with a name.
Yes, I'll think about that. I'll ruminate on it. In my wee hours, I shall think about Stacy's mom's sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It does sound as if you were to get the sauce on you, it would result in fountains of stains.
Stop it!
Who's next?
Okay, do you want to go? I can go.
You go.
Well, first I thought maybe I was gonna tell a story of something that I lost one time. But then I realized that everyone's stories are a little bit more. So when a long time ago, back when I was this big, and Edie kind of puts her hand towards like the ground to like show a young age. There was a boy that came to my world, my home. And his name was Micah, and he was my best friend, and we went on lots of adventures together. And he was very similar age to me at the time, and we got along, and it was just so much fun. He was with us for a couple of years, and one day we went out into a forest that we weren't really supposed to be visiting, but we did anyway. And we saw this like glowing. So we followed the glowing because that was fun. And I saw, and you see Edie kind of like look down and grab Ellie, and she kind of holds her in her hands for a moment. And she's like, I found Ellie. And when I picked her up, Micah disappeared.
Just straight up vanished?
It wasn't straight away, it's like he fell through the ground.
Oh.
Vix is looking over at Chorus.
Did
Perhaps a portal. Same way he came, he went. Maybe?
It could be.
Maybe.
I'm. Wow.
That seems very hard, Edie. I'm sorry that you lost a
Yes.
friend. But you
It,
gained Ellie, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
not all bad.
what if he is Ellie? Oh.
Seems
See?
I don't
Very
know how this
unlikely.
works. I don't know how these things work. I told a story about sauce, so
They don't sound the same.
oh. Wait, what?
But yeah, I lost him. I miss him. I haven't seen him since.
maybe he's here, on this plane. Maybe we could look for him at some point.
yeah.
Maybe.
What did he look like?
Just a young boy. Human. That's as much as I remember. Brown hair, light skin, freckles.
How long was he there with you?
A year, maybe. Time is so strange. Maybe a year, maybe 2.
Can't be that hard to find a young boy named Micah with brown hair that's
Yeah.
gone missing for 2 years or a year or some amount of time. We'll have to keep our ears open. It's a
That'd
very
be
good
fun.
story, Edie.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Nemea?
Pain. Of course I had to draw the pain card. Well, May stands up, brushes some of the dirt and just sort of starts pacing slowly. My parents loved me. I can't deny that. But I was always different. She opens her wings. Neither of them could do this. And that made me stand out in more than just my physical appearance. The amount of strength it takes to actually be able to fly. And she walks over and she punches a branch on one of the nearby trees, hopefully snapping it off.
Make a strength check.
Yeah. Oh, they're both good. 19.
Yeah, as you punch it, it's a good sized branch. It just shatters right off.
This made me a bit of a freak. I didn't train for it. I didn't ask for it. And parents love me, but some of the other kids didn't. Then when I got older, I couldn't use magic, so that hurt. Continued to grow up. Discovered that I could change, and that's a physical pain. So time went on, my changing progressed, and I ended up causing other people a lot of pain. So I fled. And I've been in pain. I've been causing pain ever since. Just sits down by the tree.
Edie's gonna go up to Nemea, and she kind of ruffles you to see jingle, 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 and then she pulls a cookie out. You want a cookie?
I'd love a cookie. Thank you, Edie.
It's gonna sit, like, giving you just like a little bit of space, but not too much space, and eat cookie next to you.
Man, we all look different. Like we're each of us here, even like we all are different. So
Yeah.
being different doesn't mean bad.
No.
We all cause pain.
There are different types of pain.
Like when you bit my
That's
face.
true.
I'm
Edie's
sorry
just-
about that.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, bit her face. What?
It's a long story.
Very long story.
Yeah.
She
Well, I
was
thought we were.
Why don't
Okay.
you ask
You don't
nicely?
know that.
What?
Nothing. She's attempting to lighten the mood, and I don't think it's working.
I would say I've played this game a number of times, and it's always interesting to see that just like loss and gain are two sides of the same coin, right? You can't gain something without someone losing something. Love and pain are also two sides of the same coin. Can't cause pain if you don't have something you love, or if someone doesn't love you.
Very true.
Well, I loved them very much, so it hurt a lot. I've never been able to go back.
Well, maybe you should try.
We could go back with you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Show everyone how powerful you've become.
you're an investor in a very successful shop in Loch HIllbrand.
If they're truly family,
don't-
then if it's truly family, then you can always go back.
I really think so.
Just sort of.
I don't know if it's true, but I choose to believe it. For one reason or another.
If nothing else, it's a beautiful lie.
And lies hurt. Because I told you what I did. I don't think they'd welcome me back.
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna get some more firewood.
Oh,
Shoves the cookie in her mouth and walks off.
Be careful. There could be creatures. Okay.
I would be more worried about the creatures.
Yes, they'd have a very rude realization of hunting the wrong prey.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Edie just wants to kind of. She took a second for a moment, and she actually jogs after Nemea for a second. And she just wants to like tug on her side. Nemea,
Yeah.
if your family doesn't want you, well then you've got a family here, and no matter what, I'll always want you. My family might not want me either, so we got each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to bring the mood down again. It was a crappy card to draw.
No, it's okay. Mine was also not. Right, I was going to talk about how I lost one of these bells, but then I realized that was not appropriate.
Still a tale of loss. It was your interpretation of how much you wanted to feel.
They're lucky I didn't go first.
Maya just holds out one of her wings and pulls Edie close.
Need a hand?
Yeah, you think you can grab those sticks?
Yeah, Edie's grabbing sticks.
Yeah, I'll grab a couple more logs. Make our way back.
While they're out gathering wood, Eldon goes, "Hey, you guys want a nighttime treat?
What sort of
I like to
treat?
do this. I really love to eat this.
Edie pricks up.
Whenever I can. So I've got a pan, and I'm gonna just put it on the fire." And he sets like a cast iron pan on the fire, and you just let it get hot, and then you put a little bit of oil. He puts a little cooking oil, and then he pulls out a jar that has kernels of corn, and he like dumps it in the pan and like stirs it up, and he's like, "And you let it get nice and hot, and then you put the lid on." And then he makes some popcorn for everybody.
Yeah.
and then we just eat some popcorn, and yeah, you're welcome. It wasn't even done yet, but you got into it. But it's fine. It's probably fine. We eat. It's not very filling, but it's tasty, and he puts a little salt like on it and everything, and it's just a good nighttime snack before we go to bed.
Hmm.
This is quite good. Might have to get some of this for the
Yeah.
road.
Where
Absolutely. Good for storage too. Really
Yeah.
grows like
it gets so big.
nicely.
I don't know how it works, but it's just how it's done. But
Thank you for sharing.
of
Yeah.
course, Maya. You're like,
Just a
almost.
wonder.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't see Arati in town, and we passed by the house, and you didn't go home. Is everything okay?
Not really.
Oh.
Master already passed away.
Oh. Gods, I mean, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You didn't know. It's fine.
Now I feel like an ass.
Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
Like I
Cycle
said,
of life.
we all cause pain whether or not we want to.
Well, we've all told some pretty neat stories. I want to have everybody answer a question, okay? And you just the first thing that pops in your mind. If you had one wish, what would you wish for?
Oh.
Anything. It could be anything.
One wish.
One wish.
Oh.
And wish for more wishes.
Okay.
That's a
Oh,
good
anything, anything
That is
but more
cheating.
wishes.
That is so
Cheating.
cheating.
I mean,
You didn't
it,
stipulate.
I'm sorry. That just kind of goes without saying usually that you can't do that, but anything.
Hmm. I'm trying to think. Ah.
I'm torn between two.
Mine's a little vain, but it's easy. Clothes that match me.
Wait, what do you mean? Your clothes match right now really well.
They match right now, but you see, unfortunately, I'm someone of many moods. And when they blink, their eyes change to yellow, and then back to black.
See,
Who has a passive insight of 12 or higher?
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you. Nope.
Me.
If so, you know Vix was lying.
Mine's 11. Damn you!
Mine's also 11.
I
Good
can
ol'
see.
14.
I see you're lying.
Himbo Ranger.
Himbo Ranger.
No
Himbo.
wisdom.
Oh,
seems
sorry.
like-
Oh man.
13 or higher. I forgot that I'm
That-
proficient in
Still me.
deception. Still, yeah.
That's still Eldon. That seems like a good wish. Good wish.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Just kind of
What
like
would you
eyeing you. Raised eyebrow.
Vix is just meeting the gaze, wiggly eyebrows. This is interesting.
Well, I would wish for a chain of Eldon's magical bazaars. The stores just all across Vengalia.
That's a
Oh,
good wish.
and then maybe even branch out to other continents someday.
Yeah. Start here and branch out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a wish we'd all benefit from, I
I-
think.
True.
Leroy.
I think I'd probably wish for it's like that thing I saw in my dream. It was kind of like that bag of holding, except it can house creatures. Except I'd imagine I'd wish for something. It'd be really large inside, and it'd be fields, and there'd be just space to keep them safe. Just animals that have been in difficult positions, like with Thorn, who were, abused and injured. Just something like that, I think would be really great.
Very sweet. Yeah. Anybody else want to answer the wish?
No, I got everything I need right here.
What about your friend?
Aw.
Wouldn't you wish for your friend back?
But what if he's happy where he is?
Edie's way too good.
So much purity, I can't handle it.
Can I insight check, Edie?
Oh.
What did you get?
28.
Ooh!
How? What?
Edie got a 23, and she's telling the truth.
Nice. I have expertise in insight. And I rolled a natty 19.
Jesus!
Insanity. Insanity.
At level
Yeah.
5.
Your
Far
secrets are void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell no lies.
Tell no lies.
What would you wish for, Chorus?
I'd wish
Leroy.
for.
Shush.
I would wish for power to make my life more like that story I told.
How is it
Magic
different?
to change it?
Oh.
In so many ways.
Or money?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Either that or to get revenge for whoever took it from me.
So that was a story about you?
No. Just parallels for a while.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, insight.
Yeah. Inside.
Eldon's
Okay.
gonna insight too.
Do not believe.
I rolled super
Okay.
low.
Oh my gosh! I got a natural one. No kidding. Reroll because of my halfling to a natural 20. No
Nice.
lie. No lie.
And a
What?
dirty 20 for Eldon.
Halflings!
I rolled a nat one.
Halfling's crazy.
Yeah, not false. But not also not like that story isn't like a story that Chorus heard. Like that's
Yeah.
the story Chorus wishes was his story.
Cool.
But he's not lying.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Well, I'm not used to staying up super late. I'm gonna go ahead to sleep. I think you guys are welcome to. I've got like earplugs, so you're fine if you want to stay up a little longer. But I figure we'll get on the road tomorrow and get most of the rest of the way there, probably. And so we should be there soon. I'm pretty excited. But until then, good night. And he gets up and you kind of see him lead Gary over, and he kind of tethers Gary to one of the wheels, rubs his nose, and then gets under his cart, and then you see like he reaches up and pulls like a string, and like this drop like falls down on the curtain, like with privacy curtains drop around to the sides of his cart,
Nice.
and within a
Nice.
couple minutes he starts snoring.
Take first watch if you all would like to get some sleep. I'm very okay with staying up for a little bit longer.
Well, pick
Sure.
a stay up, buddy, and then we'll take shifts.
Whoever. Doesn't matter to me.
I'll stay up. I still feel a little tense.
Works for me.
Wants to take second watch.
Actually,
I think I'll probably take the last watch. I like to wake up early anyway. See the sunrise.
Don't know how much good I'll be, but I can join you on second watch, Edie, if you'd like.
Yeah, please.
Perfect. Two people without dark vision. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I've got my coin.
we have a
That
campfire.
I put it up, and it's not lit up, but it's my safety coin.
It lights up as soon as you hold it up.
Safety coin.
That won't last very long, but
That's okay. This is fun.
all right.
Before you all go to bed, you look up and notice shooting stars just streaking across the night sky, and the sky has a nice, actually like aurora to it as well, just giving off some just beautiful colors.
Wow.
Will I ever
Incredible.
get to see the night sky here? It's so cool.
Remind me about this if I ever draw cups. Oh, sorry, pentacles. I'm all crosswise. I
Don't
like
forget to
skies.
wake me up, and Edie's gonna shove a cookie in her mouth before going to sleep.
Make sure you are marking the cookies off your
Great.
inventory that you are consuming. Okay.
Every time I eat a cookie, I mark one off.
Essential
Or give
inventory
them away.
management.
It's the important things.
Edie sits up partway through Chorus and Nemaya's shift, and she's like, "My wish is that I have unlimited cookies," and then she falls back asleep.
Amazing.
That is a very
Oh,
good
no.
wish.
The truth comes out.
As Edie's
Alright.
going to fall asleep, Vix is going to try a little sleight of hand check. That is a 14. Not to take, but to leave some stuff in Edie's backpack.
Well,
Say if she's
uh,
if she's not.
my passive is 11, so I think whatever it is, you beat it.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Whatever you need is in my bag. Edie is not going to bag enough to do this.
I will send you a message of what is in there.
Okay.
Chorus and Nemea, was there anything that you guys wanted to talk about on your watch, or are you just taking watch?
I was actually going to grab the bag of holding and pull out the letters.
Okay.
And just read them quietly and take a peek at the satchel, the small little thingy.
What small little thingy?
What was it? There was a bag of gold. Or a bag of.
Oh yeah, there was a pouch of gold. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll have a look in there and read the letters.
Chorus is just on watch.
Go ahead and make a perception check, Chorus. Then.
Once Nemea's finished reading them, she'll join in the watch. I'll give you advantage.
Okay, so with advantage then?
Yeah.
It's a 19.
Everything really calm, peaceful night.
Cool.
Inside the pouch, you find, if I haven't already told you before, it's 500 gold.
Ooh! I had not been told.
Good
Amazing.
investment for our new
I keep
merchant
that
friend.
quiet.
It was a college tuition fund. It was a college tuition fund for Nemanja.
And he just counts it quietly, doesn't tell anyone, and just puts the coin back.
And then you have access to the letters, so you can read those.
Rolled a 22
Lovely.
on perception. Do I see the gold if I'm like... and I wouldn't have left the camp. But...
I mean, I wasn't hiding it, but I wasn't sure.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
probably
I mean, were
see.
you watching Watch, or are you watching her, kind of?
I mean... Yeah, I would have
If
been
you were
on
watching,
watch.
if you were watching her, I would say take away the advantage from rolling for perception. If you were watching Watch, then you would keep the advantage.
No, I watched the watch then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then, you might have heard the gold like clinking a little bit, but okay.
Cool.
Is there anything the two of you wish to discuss on your watch, or just kind of let it pass?
Nothing.
What happened to your brother?
Well, unlike the story, we didn't make it to very many adventures. He died at the outset of one of them, and it was sort of my fault. And
Oh,
that's all. Just
I'm sorry. You didn't have to answer that if you didn't want.
it's all right. I wouldn't have answered it if I didn't want to. I don't really have many secrets. Just some things that I don't like to talk about most of the time, but we've already been talking tonight, so it's not really resurfacing much. All resurfaced already.
I'm sorry if I bring that to the surface.
Nah, you do remind me of him a lot. He was also a tiefling. He was very strong and very exceptional. And there are just many similarities between you and he.
Melkus?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Been quite a while, and I've lost a lot since then, but that one does hurt the most. Oh, this sword, pulls out the half sword. This was his sword, and I still carry it because I don't want to forget what happened to him or how I contributed, and the last thing he said to me. I'll remember that forever.
Can I ask what happened?
Ah,
You don't have to share.
no, perhaps it will give you a little more insight into my brain. We were fairly incredible, the two of us. I was born special. At least that's what they told me. Chosen, if you will, by the gods. And I was being bred to be a protector. Malchus was born a little darker, but nothing too dark. You know how it is with tieflings. People don't always have the best intentions with them. But he was a beautiful soul. And he pledged himself to the same celestial who guided me. he gained power from that, and we used that power, his power and mine, to right wrongs in the world and, general adventuring stuff. And we got in over our heads. Some devils were not far off from the temple that we lived at, and in my hubris at the time, I figured we could handle them, and I was very wrong. I let my guard down for a moment, and one of the devils took a swipe at me. Before I could say anything, Malchus was in between us, and the sword broke, and Malchus broke, and after I broke. And so now I carry his sword, and I try not to let my hubris get the best of me.
Says the man who keeps running headfirst.
If I had been
that was
faster
a joke.
on that day, I might have been able to save him. I see myself on the front lines. I'm still a bit of that protector I was raised to be, and I know I shouldn't charge headfirst, but when my friends are in danger, that's what I'll do. And I'll keep getting faster until I'm able to protect them the way I couldn't protect him.
And that's why you couldn't leave that portal. Guilt?
Oh, not guilt. When Malchus was injured, I called out to our shared celestial and didn't get the help I asked for. And in that moment, I realized that there's not a lot of difference between those devils who killed Malchus and the celestials who wouldn't save him. And now it is my duty, privilege, pledge, whatever, to make sure that things that don't belong here don't interfere.
I'm sorry.
You had nothing to do with it. And someday I'll make the ones who did say that themselves.
Hopefully I can be there to help you with that.
I would love that.
Shall we wake the others next one?
I think that's a great idea. I could use some sleep.
Okay. I'll wake the next watch.
That time already.
Yeah. That wasn't enough sleep.
Fortunately, I think we'll get a second
You'll
helping
get
in a few
more.
hours.
Yeah. He's gonna find a spot she can see.
As you guys set up watch, go ahead and make one of you can do it at advantage, or both of you can roll perception checks.
Should we each roll?
Yeah, I guess. Ooh, 19.
Oh, 11.
Neither of you see anything. It's still really quiet. night. You do still see the aurora in the sky. But Edie, you notice a breeze starting to blow in, and the temperature starts changing. It starts to get a little cool, especially considering how warm it was yesterday. This feels like the temperature dropping overnight is getting low, and you see actually some clouds starting to come in overhead.
Is the fire still going, or is that out?
Did you guys maintain the fire in the first watch? Then there's still fire going.
Edie's just gonna kind of. It's getting a little chilly. Maybe we'll make sure this fire doesn't go out at all. Add a couple
Yeah.
extra sticks and logs.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Do you have any reasons for that? Pointing up at the sky.
For what?
For why the sky does that.
I've only ever seen. And Edie starts like counting on her fingers how many nights that she's been. I've only seen that many nighttime skies in my entire life. I've never seen anything like this ever.
Ah, that's right. So, in your home, the sun never set? It was always twilight, you were saying.
Yeah, perpetual sunset.
Huh. Interesting.
Very beautiful. Good lighting just all the time.
I'd say probably picturesque all the time. Did it ever make it hard to sleep?
No, I mean, the dark makes it hard to sleep.
Should think so if you're used to not the dark.
But what are all those lights?
I don't actually know. I thought you might, being sort of in tune with nature. We always said that it was Ishki talking to us.
She's saying?
She's painting the future, but it's through such a lens that we can't read it. Not well, at least.
That's amazing.
It is also myth, so it could be wrong.
But probably not.
Probably not, right.
You're so smart.
Thank you, Edie. I wish I was smart. I might have figured this out a little bit earlier. And they're messing with the thing in the box and with the bullets from Bjork. I'll get there eventually.
I don't think I'll be any help at all.
You never know. Even if you don't know things, it's always useful to have a different perspective.
You want me to have a look?
Oh, sure. Got a general idea of things, but I don't think, sadly, Bjorg had this device in mind when he made these bullets.
Edie's looking at this like this is just... What is it? Bullets? What are bullets?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanisms?
And Vix is like walking you through each of the parts, at least as far as they understand it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is, I think, this part, and I'm pretty sure that this little part of the hammer on Bjorg's gun touches right there, and that makes a small detonation. But I don't know where that part on this thing is. think I need to start testing things properly, but
Yeah. We should do experiments.
would you help me with those?
Yes. Absolutely.
Delightful.
We can practice with your bullets, and then sometimes we can try my spells.
That's a good idea. I hadn't considered magic. Well, I'd considered it in the formation of this thing, since it's bizarre, but I hadn't considered its application to the mechanism.
Yeah, maybe it needs something extra.
A little extra juice, yes.
Yeah,
A little bit of Stacy's mom's sauce, so to speak.
exactly. Magic.
Thank you, Edie. This has been enlightening.
Did you see the necklace that Cora's got me?
Oh, that is excellent. Very pretty, just like you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
On nights like this, it's said that Ijki gives gifts to those who are in need of something. It's always good to check your backpack once or twice. Make sure.
do you think that I need something?
I don't know. Well, clearly not, since your wish was nothing.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that I might get a present though, and Edie's gonna kind of like go over to her bag, just like, I'm fine. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, presents aren't that big of a deal. And then she like rips open the top of the backpack.
Vix is definitely like watching and trying to play coy.
What's in the backpack?
You see
Nothing.
nothing, absolutely nothing. Stole all your stuff. You see 7 lengths of fabric, each 5 yards long, and each in the different colors of the rainbow.
I got a present.
You did?
And Edie like grabs onto all of it and twists at the same time, so then it's like all wraps up around her, and then plonks herself onto the ground. She's like, I got a present. I said I was cold.
She must have known it was your birthday. And there you are.
I forgot it was my birthday. Edie's gonna like say thank you to the sky. Just enjoy her new fabrics.
Okay. The rest of your watch passes uneventfully.
Should we wake up Rose? It's getting to be the wee hours.
Yeah, I think we wake up and I point to the curtain as well. Oh, Rose on her own.
That's true. I'll suggest it to her. His comment earlier makes me consider she might want to, stick it out alone. Lest they go hunting. Well, lest he try and convince her to go hunting for flower fields in the dead of night.
But Rose would love that.
You're probably right.
Alright, well, I won't wake him.
Sure, at least give him the option, I think. I'll wake Rose.
Ask Rose.
Vix will shake Rose awake.
Oh, is it morning already?
Not quite. A few hours left, but those are your hours.
All right, perfect. Oh, you two can get some rest now. Don't worry, I've got the rest of it.
Edie had an idea that perhaps we should wake Eldon just to make sure that you're not on your own. If you want,
we
that
could
is.
try. Yeah, I don't mind. I was just going to go around. I mean, I'm never truly alone. There's always a bird or well, even the pony over there. There's always if sort of creatures around. But let's try see if he. I mean, why not? Although he did seem a bit like
Sticks her head
sleep
under the
was a
curtain.
priority.
You
Good
see him curled up
morning.
there. Huh? What? Ah. Good. Good morning.
Are you able to do watch with Rose this morning?
Yeah. Morning already. Sure, that'd be fine. He
Excellent.
crawls out and scratches a little bit as he's getting up and stretches and good morning. Oh, you're going to bed then.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good night. Sleep good.
Good night.
Hey, Rose, would you like some coffee?
Oh, absolutely. If you're making.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like coffee in the morning? And he'll go get like a pot to set on, boil some water, and goes about the process. I don't normally have anybody to. I don't keep watch because I'm usually by myself, so I just,
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do we do?
Well, we just keep an eye out, make sure that there's nothing dangerous coming to camp. We could even just have a chat as long as it's, we keep an eye out. We don't,
Mm.
get too distracted by the coffee.
Well, we could make breakfast for everybody so they could eat when they wake up. That'd be good.
That's actually a really good idea. She fishes out some of the pancakes. I actually have some of these still. I made with my cousin. I think
Oh.
if I could, I think as long as we keep an eye out, I might see if I can find a few berries, maybe some honey. The bees normally let me have a little bit. You have to negotiate. You can't be greedy though.
Sure, greed is bad anyway. So
No.
if we go searching for honey, maybe I'll stay here and keep an eye on camp because I feel like if we both left, that would be bad.
Yeah, of course. I was thinking more towards the end when everyone starts waking up because it's still very, very early.
That's
Maybe
true.
towards the end I'll
Okay.
maybe the last 15 minutes. It won't take long.
Okay. So let's go ahead and roll perception checks. I'll let you roll with advantage if you'd like.
Perfect. Oh. Oh my gosh, my dice really like me. I got with advantage a natural 20 to 27.
You also notice the weather continuing to get a little chillier, and you feel some moisture in the air. It's not raining or anything, but it's feeling like it's going to be a cold, possibly windy, rainy day.
All right.
But no signs of any creatures or anything. Peaceful night.
That's good.
So Eldon kind of helps get things going. He starts frying some bacon. He's got the coffee. You've got pancakes. So you guys have a respectable breakfast. Was there anything else that you wanted to discuss with him on your watch?
Yes. So, with the shop he's setting up, any other ideas? The name sounds great, but do you have maybe a location? Because it'd be great. We could maybe also spread word. I know I'm hoping to travel around a lot, and we could try and spread word of it, and maybe we could make some sort of like flyers or something. That's something to consider.
That would be brilliant. I would love flyers. No, I mean I don't have a location picked out yet because I really wanted to see what's available. I want to make sure I'm getting like a top of the line location. I'm not paying for being like back buried behind all the other magical stores or whatever. I want to be like in a really heavily trafficked part of town. So gonna kind of see what it looked like when I got there and make a decision on what's available. But probably like in the fore part of town where people are shopping, because the bazaar, people walk around and they stop and look at all kinds of things. And those are more like the tents. I want like a shop, like a place that with a door that I could put a bell. Like when people open the door, it rings the bell so I know they're coming. This stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I think
Yeah.
yes. The main thing as well is just getting the word out. See if we can
Yeah.
do that. As well as just, do you have an idea? Maybe signs. That's always good to bring people in, as well as the magic items. Where are you gonna get those? I know you said you used to barter. I know bartering is a bit more of a smaller village thing. We did that back at ours, but it sounds like this isn't that sort of town. It seems like it's bustling.
I might have to make some connections. Hmm. But I'm sure. I mean, I've got some. I'm sure I can make it work. I just have to find the right place. And a town that's going to be like that, there's bound to be people who know how to do stuff and have stuff. Maybe they inherited for somebody that they don't know what to do with anymore. I'm sure I can come up with something.
Okay.
And Saison's not that far away, right? Like I can get like shipments. There's probably, I think there's an academy of magic, like not too far away. So maybe they have some students who work on stuff. There's options. Yeah, lots of options.
Yeah, that's a lot of good ideas. I think just keep thinking about those, and yeah, just make sure you get it all done. I think that's the main thing. Just doing your plan. That's where results come from, and that's where all the magic happens.
Yeah, you're so kind. You're so encouraging. Thank you.
Of course. I know you've got this. I know that you've got the right attitude, like I said, and a lot of great ideas. I think just go forth with that, and maybe we can help as well. Maybe not
Okay.
as much with funding, but we could help spread the word.
There's time. There's time to figure it out. Well, I think it's probably close to time for them to be waking up. Do you want to go look for some honey, and I'll keep an eye on things here?
Yeah, yeah.
So go ahead and
I'll be right back.
make a nature check.
Okay, that is nature 17.
Okay. You are able to find a hive relatively easy enough and coax a fair amount of honey from the bees and 0 stings. And you make your way back. And as everybody else is waking up, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. So be back in 10 minutes, and we will continue this episode. See you soon, everybody.
We're back.
We are back. Woohoo! Thank you for coming back with us
Colin,
after our
you
long
now
rest.
have a speech that you would like to give the mouthful of food.
I took a massive
We
bite
are-
of food
You
right before we came
monster.
back.
When we left the party, they had just finished a long rest, having had a campfire, dinner, conversations with... My volume was apparently turned up.
Yeah, I was just like,
Conversations
what?
with each other, just telling some stories based on some draws of playing cards. Tales of love, tales of loss, tales of pain, tales of gain, and some neat moments, some touching moments. And as the rest of you wake up, you see that there is a breakfast of hot bacon. There's some coffee and cold pancakes. Maybe they've been heated up on a frying pan. Stale pancakes, but they're pancakes. And some fresh honey and honeycomb. The day is cold.
Oh,
not
no,
like
done.
snow cold, but it's probably fall weather, kind of like or late spring. There's cold, there's cloudy, and it looks like it's possibly going to start raining.
Can I make a survival or an insight check or something against this weather?
You can make a nature check.
Nature, God, I'm bad at that though.
I mean, I'll allow survival.
Can I make an insight check on the weather?
18.
What are you wanting to know?
Because yesterday was like it was sweltering and very hot and very sunny, and now it is fall and cold. Is this normal?
No,
or
it's
are we...
not. It's not fall. I was just trying to give it a temperature relation to it. So
Okay.
the temperature's dropped pretty considerably, but considering some of us use different degrees of temperature, I
Gotcha.
can't say, oh, it's like 70 degrees, because to those who use Celsius, it would be like, oh, that good God.
And we're all
I'm
dead.
melting.
And we're all, yeah, we're just melting. So
Yeah.
it is a storm. It seems like a storm is coming in. From somebody
Okay.
who's traveled enough and spent time,
Gotcha.
you can tell that the weather is just, it's gone bad for a day. It looks like there's going to potentially be a storm.
Are the roads like just dirt, or
Yeah.
are these it like okay? It's not cobbled.
No.
Well, I suppose we should start moving and see how far we can get before this rain comes. But we might have to take a break depending on how bad the roads get.
Rose, I'm never traveling without you. This honeycomb is easily the best way to start the day. This
I'm glad. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get a little bit more out of town, but yeah, I mean, as long as you know what to say to the bees, it's pretty dandy to get.
I'm just imagining Rose
Yeah.
like starting her morning, walking around, just like, bzz, 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 bzz.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Vengalia: the bee movie.
By all
You
laws
like
of
jazz?
You guys finished eating. Eldon hitches Gary to the cart and rolls up his privacy curtains on the sides of his wagon. Well, I'm ready to get going if you guys are.
Certainly.
Let's get moving.
All right, go ahead and make a survival check again, just to continue finding the path. And it's pretty
The path
Pretty
that
well
is a
marked.
road.
exactly.
That's an 18.
It's a road-ish. It's not like a main highway,
Gotcha.
but it's a familiar enough path that people have traveled. All right, perfect. So you guys start off on your journey. For the beginning part of the day, the weather seems to be holding up. You're doing okay.
After an hour or so, Nemea kind of wants to jump into the back of the cart, if she's not too heavy for poor Gary, and pull out her herbalism kit.
You can do that. It will slow down the cart pretty noticeably, just because if you're adding to what's already in there, because he's already got it loaded with stuff. So you are welcome to
Just sit
do
there and,
so.
She'll sit there and like start pulling everything out, and then realize the change of pace, and it's like, pack it all up and climb it back out. Never mind.
Oh.
As you're getting out, you actually notice like, and you hear a snap on the wheel, and the wagon kind of drags a little bit.
Oh no.
Ah, Eldon hops down and climbs under the wagon. Broken axle.
What?
I'm sorry.
It's probably not your fault. It's probably an old axle. Does anybody know how to make things? Or, I mean, I probably have like a spare, actually. Does anybody know how to repair things very well? Like, I can do it. It's just going to take some time.
Wood's not my specialty, but I've been known to tinker a bit.
If you're able to offload the cart, I could turn it on its side.
Yeah, probably would take longer than us just climbing under there. Vix is kind of... Wait, you can... Can you be smaller, too?
Vic, when he looks back to Vix, Vix is now a gnome. Alright, well, let's set to work.
Alright, and he actually, like, climbs up and digs through a little bit, and you see some more clothing going flying a little bit, and here it is. And he grabs out a spare axle, and you guys climb under. Go ahead and make a tinkering check with advantage.
With dex, using dexterity. Natural 20 for a 28.
Jesus.
Fly now.
It takes no time. You guys are back on the road probably within 20 minutes. You save the spare, like the broken axle, to either see if it can be repaired later or at least for firewood, if nothing else.
Tell you
Alright,
what,
so-
way easier to do those patch jobs when there's not sand getting in your pot of glue. Alright, let's get going.
Yep. Okay. Let's get the hops back in. Go start driving off. Oh, and Nemea, it wasn't your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Materna sauce!
Like wrapped around her like a bat. She feels bad.
Is that anything? Materna sauce? I've been trying to figure this out.
It has quite the right, like, zip to it, you know? Like,
You like it when it's all one word.
ooh, what about, like, boss sauce? Would that be a thing?
Boss sauce is something.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hot Mama's Oodle Noodleizer.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
It loses
just
something
like a
in
big
brevity,
pile.
but it definitely says what it is.
And like a big pile of pasta, like with the sauce just like dripping down the side.
Yes,
I
glistening
was just
glistening
saying,
pile of
imagine the
pasta
labeling.
with some thick noodles, extra thick.
I mean, that's not. Anyway, we should keep driving.
I love you all.
So you guys continue on your way. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoonish, starts sprinkling a little bit, so the rains start coming in. Still not too bad, but it is now starting to get wet.
Nemea will open her wing again, like she shielded Edie, like she shielded Rose yesterday from the sun. She'll do that for whoever wants to stand under them.
I like the rain.
I'm standing under the mayor's wing.
Nemea's looking up at the sky, worried.
Vix seems to be enjoying the rain.
Of course, just pulls his head up.
Continue on. Go ahead and make another survival check, and then also just perception check for those of you.
Well, is that everyone doing perception?
Everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
23 on survival.
Oh man.
And a
15.
20, not net, on perception.
Also 15 for perception.
21.
Natural
Nice.
20.
Nice.
21.
So many
Nice.
natural 20s tonight.
So you guys, as you're traveling, definitely you're on the right path, by the way, and you're going. You hear like a little noise, just really quietly, off on the side of the road, like just kind of like stuffed in some bushes.
What kind of noise? Sorry.
Like,
What? Oh.
Go investigate.
Nemea
Um,
immediately pushes Edie behind her.
as you
Someone hurt.
as you open up as you go look into the bushes, you see somebody laying there, and they're holding their side, and like blood, and like they're holding the side like where it looks like they've been stabbed, and they look like they've been there possibly for a couple days.
Oh my gosh. Can Rose immediately just do a healing word
Sure.
on this person?
Yeah, absolutely. As you apply a healing word to him, he looks over and he's, thank you. I was just traveling along the road, and you see it's actually like a dwarven female. She's got long brown hair, and I was traveling on the road, and just a group of thugs that came out, and they took my pack, and they took my money, and they stabbed me, and
Oh,
you can see like through her blood-soaked shirt. It was once white, but it's now like brown and red from just being in the dirt and mud, and her brown blackish trousers are just torn and scuffed from being shoved in the bushes. But I think I was about to meet Iris, but you saved me.
Hmm.
How can I repay you?
not at all. You were in danger, and I couldn't leave you like this. If there's any way you could repay, it's just by saying where those thugs went. Maybe we can deal with them.
I don't know. I think they thought I was dead, and they threw me in these bushes, and that was the last I saw. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Can
don't-
I make an investigation check and just see if there's any evidence of a scuffle?
Go ahead and roll investigation.
I was gonna insight check just to see if she's telling the truth. Probably
Go
is.
ahead.
Vix is always.
Okay.
Oh, it was almost a natural 20. 11.
Oh, yeah, so it was mine.
She seems very genuine, Vix. Just most people don't go around stabbing themselves to set up ambushes, and there doesn't appear to be any signs of anyone else around.
I got
What'd
a
you roll?
14.
Okay. You do see signs of a scuffle. You see some bloodstains in the dirt on the road. They have kind of, as the rain has been falling a little bit, they're a little harder to see. But you see some that splattered a little bit on like a rock, and that's kind of where it kind of gives it away to you.
Where were you headed?
Yeah.
I was just going to visit some family. And I got on this road, and I think I might have gotten turned around. I'm not. Where am I right now? Anyway, I don't know where I'm at. I was going down to visit family, and I've got a nephew who's at the academy. The Brittlebane Academy. It's a magic school, and it's it's on the other side of uh, the big lake. That's a day or so away from here, I think.
Near Loch HIllbrand.
That's the place. Yeah, the Brittlebane Academy is a couple days beyond that, across the loch itself. And I was going to visit. I was coming down from Saison, and I've been on the road for a few weeks, and I think I took a wrong turn, and like I said, I got turned around, and I don't know where I was at. And I was waiting to try to meet some people who could give me directions, and I hadn't come across anybody yet. You're actually
We're headed there now. You can come with us
you're headed where?
to the
Loch HIllbrand.
lock.
Oh, well, that would be helpful, because the academy's not far from there. That would be most helpful. The name's Oriff Firetamer.
Hey,
Happy to
Edie.
meet you.
Happy to meet you too. This weather's not great for traveling, but if you can, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if you have room.
Absolutely.
Um,
Is that a family name or a descriptive one?
uh, family name, but I've been known to be fiery in my time, and to calm the fiery in people, but right now I'm feeling a little under the weather, or out of sorts. I guess a knife in the liver will do that to you.
Yes, probably so.
I just hope I don't slow you down walking, but I will gladly accompany you.
No problem.
We
You
can
look,
afford a small delay.
You look hungry here. Chorus hands her like a bag of like 5 days worth of rations, and without saying anything about it, 10 gold.
Oh,
Aw.
okay. She takes it and thank you. You don't know what meeting kind strangers on the road is after meeting not kind strangers on the road. And she eats slowly, like you can tell she's restraining herself, but she knows that these are travel rations, and she seems to understand what they are. Well, I won't. We can keep moving if you're moving on. I will follow you.
If you get tired, we can go up in the car. You're only little.
Oh, thank you. That might be helpful. And Eldon, like, here, let me help. And he kind of arranges like a soft spot on the bed, so for her to get in and lay down on. And there you go. Just and he like pulls like the tarp over her so she won't be like rained on. There. If you need anything, just like knock on the side. Gary will get my attention.
Perfect.
Shall we continue on our way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't run into these guys. I don't know yet. Do we want to run into them?
Wouldn't hurt
Maybe.
us if we did.
Hmm.
Guess so.
Out of curiosity, Oriff, did you have anything important that they were stealing, or was it just random brigandry?
I have to assume just random brigandry. I had nothing of value. I had just a few coins in my pocket. It was enough for traveling and staying at the occasional inn, perhaps. Apparently, it's if you don't have a horse or a cart, it takes a lot longer to get places. I underestimated how long it would take, but I had enough coin to stay at the inns that I came across. But no items, no anything of value that I can think of beyond my life.
Can I insight check?
You can.
I'd like to get on that as well, if possible.
Sure.
I got 3.
Oh.
I rolled the only thing worse than my last one. Natural 1.
Oh
She
no.
seems,
Ooh,
she seems like she's in a lot of pain. Hard to be sure if she's being honest, but she seems genuine. Okay. As you continue traveling, the sprinkle turns into more of a drizzle, and then shortly turns into a steady shower. Before
ooh.
long, it does become a full-on summer storm. The road you're traveling on starts to get harder and harder to traverse as your feet begin to stick in the mud. Eldon's cart gets stuck several times, and you have to stop to help get it out of a rut and moving again. Darkness begins to settle in. Gets even harder to see the road ahead of you. The rain is beating down all around you, and lightning strikes a nearby tree, frightening Gary. Gary breaks the tether and actually runs off up a hill.
Harry! Rose is going to be like, it's okay. She's gonna start running after him.
Okay. As you run off after Gary, chasing him up the hill, another flash of lightning illuminates a house off in the distance. And out in the middle of, well, I mean, not nowhere, but you're not in a city, so to see a house this size is rather surprising. It does seem to be more of a mansion than a modest house. And it's actually quite a bit larger than the mansion that you guys encountered within the swamp of Balantor. Once the lightning subsides and your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness and the rainfall around you, you actually see lights illuminating the windows of the house warmly.
Okay. Right now, she's just trying to, calm Gary down.
Absolutely. There
Get
was
out
there
the
was
rain.
there was storm. I don't like lightning.
Yeah, I know it can be loud and bright, but
It starts fires and fires burn things, and there goes the grass again.
it's okay. It doesn't get rid of all the grass. Like I said, I'm I'm here, and I will make sure that there's grass. Okay, and I'll make sure that. Hey, is it that you're feeling a little bit drenched down by the rain?
It's wet. It's cold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little chilly. But mostly I
Just
don't like lightning. It's scary.
okay. That's okay. But let's just.
I'd
Oh,
like to not be out in lightning. If that could be arranged, you could tell Eldon I don't want to be outside in the lightning. It scares me.
we can try. I think for now, let's just huddle up as a group. There seems to be a house nearby. We could stop by there. Although we'll have to see if there's space for a pony like you. But for now, I can go and make you feel a little bit less drenched. And she's going to use shape water to kind of just almost create a little like an umbrella, like shape water above the pony, just to kind of
So
there.
are you using like the existing water on the horse to like create a barrier above it?
Yeah, like.
Okay, that works.
Rhyme
Oh,
off while protecting him.
thank you. That's really nice.
Of course. Now let's get back to the group. All
Okay.
right?
Okay. Gary
And
heads
she'll just
back.
kind of, yeah, just kind of leading him back, just kind of patting the mane.
Hmm. And he like leans into you and like kind of like bonks you with
Aw.
his head.
No.
Gary is the best.
Yes.
Should we
Sweet boy.
check out that house before we go and knock? See what's. Maybe we take a stealthier approach. I don't know. It's just a little weird that it's out here.
We can.
Here.
If we want to be stealthy, I can help with that. I can make us a little bit harder to detect. But I don't know. We should probably not linger too long. I know this is just kind of wringing out her hair. It's quite a lot here.
Yeah, it's a full on like torrential downpour at this point.
Perhaps Vix and I go on now with Look and then wave you down if it's all good. Take a quick
Sure.
look inside. All right.
I concur.
All right.
And you
Be
guys are going
careful.
stealthy, so go ahead and roll stealth checks.
What is Rose doing? What's this?
So she was just going to do pass without trace.
Okay, cool.
But Rose would have to be
Rose,
with
stay
us
within
for that
30
to
feet.
work.
But
I can
Rose would have to
also-
stay with you.
Yeah.
I can cast it too if I need
Okay.
to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, you can also cast it.
Got lots of passing without traces here. Do you want to? Does Rose want to come with us then? I mean, that's totally fine. I don't have to cast it. Then. Okay, cool. All of us.
Whoever is going, roll a stealth check with adding 10.
Nice.
God.
Yeah. It's gonna be, these are going to be some silly numbers.
I hope so.
Gosh.
Hang on, are we all going?
Well,
No,
I think
Edie's
just
not.
the three chorus
Okay.
Vix and Rose
stay
right
with-
now.
I'll stay with the cart. Eldon and the dwarven woman.
Alright.
I'm watching her like a hawk.
I rolled a
She's a dwarf, by
35.
the way, not an elf.
oh my gosh.
No, I
Okay.
picked myself. A what?
35.
Wow.
I have a far more reasonable 26.
Wow. Rose just has the dirty 20.
Still good.
Yeah, you guys all managed to. I mean, with the downpour and everything like that, it is pretty easy to kind of just disappear into the world.
Invisible.
Yeah, and Chorus, like you guys can't even see Chorus. You're like, oh, we're all still Chorus.
Where's
Boris.
Boris?
Still here.
He was here
You
just
have
as
to have like a
God.
little blinky lights to kind of give him like this is where he's at. So what are you guys doing? You're approaching the house. You see the outside of the house again. It's a very large 2-story house from what you can tell. Just gigantic. Hard to paint the square footage, but it's a very good size. But the windows are lit. It doesn't appear dark and foreboding in any way. You hear like conversation coming from inside, just people talking about, oh, this weather's sure awful. You know, like you hear just some voices. Yeah, I really wish it would stop raining. It makes
I
it
just
hard
wanna-
to keep the garden.
Peek inside the window,
Okay.
like wherever we can hear voices. From
Same.
Yeah, make a
closest.
perception check.
Oh my gosh.
I got a 14.
You pop up and you see it looks like you're actually looking right into like a prep area or like a kitchen area, and you just see some servants in there talking, seem to be preparing a meal, and they're just talking about things. And like there's a person like leaning against the wall who's talking about it's hard to maintain the garden. It looks like he's wearing sort of like groundskeeper clothes type things, and they just appear to be going about their business. Yeah, just living their lives and hate the rain because it's making life harder because you can't go outside.
Is this just like a isolated house? Does there seem to be like any sign of other houses?
It's
Maybe
very much.
tracks?
It was very much all by itself. Like it is not. There's no other houses, no other light sources around that you see. You can tell with that 14 also that the kitchen is pretty well. Like it looks like a nice kitchen. Like it's not a. So like Magister Aron's kitchen, but nicer. It's a bigger house. It has more staff. It looks like, and just appears that
Wow.
somebody well-to-do lives here, and maybe they chose to live in the middle. Maybe they don't like cities. They don't like being around people too much.
Could I look
Little
for?
sus.
Could I look for any heraldry that might be hanging up on the walls and roll a history check to see if I recognize who this is?
In the kitchen, there's not any signs of anything. If you want to look for like another window,
Yeah.
you can look. Go ahead and make a perception check in as you walk around.
7.
You don't see anything that jumps out again. It's a nice house. You see things that look like they are valuable probably, but nothing advertising like any kind of royalty or any kind of nobility. They just appear to be like a well-to-do family.
Shall
I don't-
we get the others and knock?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll say yes or no, but I don't think there's any
Can
harm in
try.
asking.
At the very least, maybe they'll let us sleep on their porch.
Yeah.
Go knock.
Are you getting the others first, or are you guys just knocking?
Yeah.
Vix goes back a little ways and sends a message spell to bring the others up. Edie, it's looking like this is an okay place to be. So we're going to knock and introduce ourselves.
How is it out of my head right now?
This is using magic, Edie. I can send messages over a little distance.
Amazing. That's so cool. Wait, okay, ready? And Edie sends you message. Hi. I think I'm doing it. Am I doing it right?
You're doing it
Should we
perfectly.
come up?
Yes, come on up.
Done. And then I let everyone know. Vix, let me know that we're ready to go. Let's get out of the rain.
Okay.
And I'm
I'll
knocking. while that's
grab
happening.
Gary's halter.
Yeah, start bringing Gary up there.
Lead them.
As you knock on the door, waits a few moments, and then you're like, thump, thump, thump. Somebody coming towards the door and opens it up and kind of looks out cautiously first. Hello? And you see standing before you, it's just a human male who is wearing like just like a robe, like a servant's robe type thing. It appears nice. Like it's not like a poor thing. It's like red with like a brown like undertone to it. He appears to be like in his mid 40s as well. Can I help you?
We were traveling out on the roads, and well, as you can tell, there's a bit of a downpour. We were hoping that we might be able to at least take refuge inside for some amount of time until the storm
Oh.
passes.
Just a moment, please. Let me confirm. And closes the door behind him for a moment. And you hear the lock set again.
He's not coming back.
You wait a few moments. And then you hear the footsteps approach again in the door. The unlock and open. Please, come in. I had to confirm with the master that it was okay. Please come in. And he opens the door to invite you all in.
Including Gary. Can Gary come in?
So Gary cannot come in.
Important question.
They have a servant after you mentioned, that there's Gary. They have some servants come out and lead him to the stables because they have actually their own little set of stables attached to it.
Aw, yay.
Nice.
As you step into the house, the warm, bright lights inside are a stark contrast to the cold darkness that you are emerging from. Looking around, you see a massive entryway stretching out in front of you, made of polished wood. Red, like carpets, make up, like, kind of fill the middle pathway towards a main stairway that heads up to another level of the house. A fireplace burns cheerfully, warming the entryway for servants and guests alike. And it appears that they're already just keeping this area just warmed up for the servants that are hanging out here. Looking at the end of the hall, you see the heads of animals mounted on the wall, maybe from some trophy hunts that had taken place previously. A couple of servants offer to take any wet cloaks to dry for you, if you would like. And then they bring you some blankets as well as some hot tea to help warm you up. And they lead you over to stand in front of the fireplace.
That's so kind.
I feel like as we take our cloaks off, like we hand them the cloaks that are just soaked, and then all of our clothes are just also just soaked.
Yeah, they're like
very little.
They're like trying to. Thank you, and they put it on and.
Edie doesn't understand the gesture, so she hands over all 7 different of the things that she's been wrapped in the entire time. She's just given soaking fat piles of fabric to the guy.
Nemea doesn't give them anything. She stands close to the fire, She wraps her cloak tighter.
Fair enough. As you're standing in front of the fire, again, you guys have access to some tea and stuff like that to help warm you up on the inside. After a short time, just as the chill is leaving your bones, an elderly halfling couple wearing robes of matching cut and color, or similar cut and forest tone colors, make their way down the stairs hand in hand. And as soon as they see you, a big smile breaks out across the man's face as he sees you all, and he actually scurries the rest of the way down the stairs to greet you. And he's got these tiny little legs as he's like, just like working his way down the stairs because he just seems to be very excited. Oh, well, greetings, greetings! Such a pleasure, such an absolute pleasure to have you here. We never have guests, do we, dear? Well, it has been some time. Such a pleasure. Well, welcome to our home. I am Rasmorn Wernig. It's such a pleasure. Have I said how much of a pleasure it is to meet you?
You did mention it. Yes, a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be
Absolutely.
here.
And this is my wife. Her name is Welmyra Tarkleby. It's a pleasure. Honey, we should just, I know you're excited. Just calm down a little bit. Just breathe. Maybe offer them some refreshments. I apologize. Would you? Are you all comfortable? Are you warm? Are you dry? What? I would love to. We have some robes that we can give you while your clothes dry, if you'd like.
Yeah.
That would be lovely if you wouldn't mind.
Are we about to join a cult?
Can I?
Here, we
can
got some
I-
robes for you.
Can I use detect alignment?
Yeah. As you detect alignment, it comes back lawful neutral.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Actually, if we could get rid of some of these wet clothing and just we are only here until the rain stops. I promise.
Oh,
Actually, to
you
that
are-
end,
you are-
how
yes.
far is it to Loch HIllbrand from here?
oh, probably another day and a half, depending on your speed. But you are welcome to stay. Again, we don't receive guests very often. You are welcome to stay as long as you need. Take a load off. Rest your feet. Rest your backs. Here, if you would like, and they direct you. They have like a little area, like changing room area where you are. They have like the servants will go put some robes in there if you want to change. You are welcome to go change into a dry robe. And a servant will take any of your wet clothes again and that you were wearing and take them off to dry. These will be your clothes, your items. All of them will be returned to you tonight. You have no need to fear.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. I feel like this robe is like 1,000 times nicer than Chorus's
Yeah.
actual clothes.
And they are very nice robes. Not silk, because silk's not practical for warmth, but it is a very nice, like sturdy, like velvety type, just thick,
Yeah.
warm robe that
I'm
normally
about
this time of year you would not wear this robe, but would be great in the winter or in like a cold night. And because of being out in the rain, it's super warm, super plush, super comfy.
Vix is very quickly enjoying this.
Looks so good on you. Would you like to come? And they lead you into another part of the house. And as you pass through, you see big paintings and sculptures and things all around that just show off money. And they lead you into a sitting room that has a massive fireplace and some comfy chairs and couches and cushions all around. Please sit, relax. We can bring more beverages. We can bring food.
Yes.
We just,
Snacks.
of course. What would you like?
What have you got?
What are you in the mood for?
Everything.
Excuse me, gentry. And you see the guy that answered the door come over. Yes, my lord. You don't stop with the my lord. I'm not a noble. The guests are hungry. Would you please go tell the cook to bring out an assortment of treats? are you guys needing like a meal as well?
Oh,
Surprise us
mind.
with a full meal. Surprise us with a full meal. And dessert, the whole 9 yards. We have guests, and bring more to drink. Some wine. Anything else that you would like to drink?
Any port or brandy would be absolutely delightful.
Yes, bring out the finest brandy.
Something fruity for me.
I got it. Thank you. And he disappears and continues. So, we don't get a lot of visitors. In case I hadn't said that, it's so nice to have someone else to talk to besides our servants. They're wonderful, they're great, but we've heard all their stories. What are you doing out here? We don't see a lot of people on this road.
I feel like I was going to ask the same question. Why do you live out this far?
I used to work in rare items and antiquities, and I interacted with a lot of people, snobby people, who just really felt that they were better than everyone else, and it helps, it makes you money, but they're just kind of gross. You don't want to be around gross people, and I just, Welmyra and I decided, we've got enough money, but we don't like the people that we're around very much, and we want, like, in the city, your money can buy a nice house, but out here we could buy a very nice house and we could live quietly the way we wanted to. We can have a garden the way we want to have a garden, not confined within the walls of a city. Not, we're not having to deal with people coming in and looting our garden or stealing things from our flower beds. It's just, we just decided we wanted a quiet life to live out our retirement years, and we like to dabble in things still, and this gives us the space and the privacy to be able to still work with antiquities if we want to. I can still make trades, and do exchanges for services, but on the whole...
Have you met Eldon?
Can I insight check that, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to insight check too.
Oh, yes. Okay.
What are
thank
you trying
Sprung
to
Dice.
insight check? Like, what are you wanting to... What are you trying to find out?
They are like speaking Vix's language, so just making sure that like these folks are on the up and up. They're being genuine with what they're saying, and with the antiquities dealing, Vix is looking out for any sort of like underhandedness or like black marketness kind of thing going on, but mostly just making sure that they're being truthful with what they're saying.
Okay. And the man?
Yeah, pretty much the same. She's not used to this lavish.
It appears
she's-
that he appears. And what did you roll for your insights? Did you specify?
Oh, I got a 12.
Okay.
25.
They seem honest, man. Like it's hard to tell. You're not used to his way of speaking. You're not used to the type of dealing maybe, but he seems honest that you can tell. Vix, he's using all the right words that indicate he knows what he's talking about. It does seem that he's had some sort of dealings. As far as black market, there may have been some of that in his past, but he appears mostly on the up and up as far as dabbling. And you feel like if pressed further, you could probably get him to open up more about the type of things that he's done.
That is some fascinating. I just need to know more. This is delightful. What serendipity finding you on the road. I am genuinely just flabbergasted. This is delightful.
Do you dabble? Do you like make things? I have a workshop.
I make oh, you have a workshop.
Would you like to see it?
Oh,
Can I show it?
absolutely.
I'm gonna show him. Would you like to come with me?
Yes, lead the way.
If anybody else would like to come, you are more than welcome. And he leads anybody who wants to come. Takes you through a portion of the house, and you go back into the hallway where you guys have been, and through another hallway and down a couple, doors and turns and twists. And he finally leads you to a good-sized workshop that has all manner of like springs and gears and glass, and you see like tinker's tools, and you see like a forge over in the corner. It's like, I play around with things, and I see what can I do to make something new, or what can I make out of something that already exists. how can I make something that already exists better? You know, and that's kind of how I've made my money, is by turning things that already are into something that's even better.
This is the best. This is genuinely the best.
You are so kind to say so.
As we're walking to the workshop, Chorus is like pulled Eldon aside and is like, Eldon, I've got a great idea. Chorus is very like excited. He's used like all of his brain cells to put this together. And he's like, you are looking for investors. They are very well off and have connections to people who dabble. I don't know, is that a thing? There's people know.
They said it a few times.
Yeah, right. Well, what if you asked them to be your investors? We put in a good word. We'll, let them know that we're traveling to Loch HIllbrand to set up a shop and all of that. Maybe they could help you acquire the things you want to sell. Maybe they could recommend a good shop, and maybe they could give you some funds to get started.
He like grabs you by like, because he's so much shorter, he grabs you by like the waist. That is the most brilliant idea I have ever heard.
I don't have lots of those.
Maybe I'll do it over the meal. Yes,
that's a perfect idea. Yes,
people are always, and he's shaking your pant leg like it's just people, or your robe, because you're probably wearing a robe at this point. I don't know what you have under it, so he's grabbing your robe. People are always more talkative, always more like eager to share things over food and drink. That's a great idea. Get to it.
I know how we can help. I'm excited about this.
Okay. So he shows you around, and he shows you a couple things that he's made, tinkered with, and you get the feel from this that he is some sort of artificer, who has worked with things and developed things, and that's stuff he likes to do.
When you say dabble, do you you've got your own inventions, you've got your own sort of take and build off of. Do you also work in the trade of magical artifacts?
I've been known to dabble occasionally. Yes. Again, I look at how can I make something that exists and make it better, and if that involves magical enhancement, then yes, I've been known to do things. I loved to make toys for children back in the days. You know, make a top that would spin, but then it would like light up and make dinkling noises and things like that, or just fun little things. But then I also liked to take other things that like maybe a common clock and just make it better for people. Like maybe it had flashing lights or things like that to get their attention. Because who has time to stop and look at a clock? Who has a clock? I mean, most people don't. But anyway, sorry, I'm very excited. In case you hadn't tell.
No, it's perfectly fine. We've actually stumbled across. Vix is like looking at the group to like check in and give someone an opportunity to stop them if they're overstepping. We've actually found a couple of rather interesting artifacts. One of them, I've been a little bit worried about its use. It seems to have some darkness to it, and I was wondering if you might have any sort of information or tomes that we might be able to consult in order to better ascertain its properties.
I don't. If it has darker properties, you probably want to see somebody in a temple or something of that nature. If it's you suspect it might be cursed?
I do, yes. It seems very useful, but I don't know the properties of the curse, so I haven't been want to throw any of my companions into the line of fire, so to speak.
I mean, if you wanted, I could take a look at it and see if I can figure anything out. I'd be willing to at least give it the old academy try, as they say.
Well, that sounds perfect. And Vix will they've kept the bag of holding with them through the sort of clothes change and put like certain things in there to make sure that they're squirreled away, and bring out the that scimitar.
Okay. So he's going to take it for a moment and just look at it, and let me see. See what you mean. There does appear to be a curse on this item. But it also appears to be Yes. This appears to be kind of like a give and take. So it appears in its positive matter, the benefits, as it were, is that if you were to strike someone just so, you might also deal, you might absorb some of their essence into yourself for some partial healing. But the opposite is true, that if you were to just completely miss, in the worst possible way, the sword might exact a toll on you and drain some of your life force away.
Ah, yes, I was able to ascertain the good properties, but the bad eluded me. Thank you for that. That is...
So, I mean, it could be worse, it sounds like. It's a possible
Yes.
trade that's worth the risk to the
Not
right hand.
Not every curse is unreconcilable, I think. This seems still a very useful tool.
Agreed. Well, should we return and have our meal? It's probably ready, and I believe that, and he points over at Edie, I believe she's particularly looking forward to dessert, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yes,
I forgot food was coming.
Perhaps we have time for fascinations and inquiries after dinner, but for now, yes.
Yes. So you return, and as you come back, you see actually like a wonderful meal of like roast chicken has been prepared. There's potatoes, there's corn, there is
God, I'm
like
so hungry.
Stop
fresh
it.
baked bread.
No.
Like, and there's even like a garden fresh salad that was picked, from their garden and stuff like that.
There's a feast, we get it.
And then
Yes.
for desserts, it actually was like a croquembouche. So if you don't, it's like the puff pastry like tower that they built for you all.
I need it.
I need it. I need it now.
I'm so hungry.
Gentry,
It's 10 in the
please,
morning, and I want this feast.
I
please,
know.
please tell the chef that he's outdone himself. Please, everyone,
Absolutely.
dig in.
Vix is polite, but absolutely just all in it.
And there's several chickens. You don't have to worry about like running out. It wasn't like one chicken to feed like the entire group.
Forrest pulls the like classic Thanksgiving thing where he piles like everything on top of it, like one plate. It's just a mountain of food.
Nice.
And then he gets there and he's like, where to start?
He eats like 4 bites. Like, okay, I'm full. It's just too much.
He's just reaching across the table to grab big, like either forkfuls or handfuls of whatever food she's going to eat next. But the plate stays pretty clean.
She doesn't use the plate.
She doesn't use the plate. Just
Yeah, it goes straight to mouth.
So, where are you all traveling? Why are you? What brings you out, especially in weather such as this?
Oh, well, we're traveling from Balantor, headed up to Loch HIllbrand.
What's taking you to Loch HIllbrand?
Couple of different.
I'm gonna if I could
people.
excuse me. That's a business proposition. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I just got enough liquid courage, and I'm going to be opening a shop, and I am looking for investors and connected people who might be inclined to support. You know what? I'm sorry, Edie. You were. I was rude. You go ahead, Edie. I'm so sorry. I was so rude.
You go. Do you?
Edie will remember this.
Mary actually chokes on a bit of food.
Before I so rudely interrupted Edie, I'm so sorry. It's the brandy. I apologize. I'm just looking for investors
He
for
reaches
this.
across and grabs his brandy and drinks it.
As he like looks down sadly, Gentry comes over and pours him another one. I'm looking for investors for opening a shop, a magic shop, and it's gonna be called Eldon's Magical Bazaar, and we're also gonna sell pasta sauce. Still working on a name. That's interesting. You and I can maybe talk about that later. I was interested in hearing what the lady had to say. Please go on, and he directs at you, Edie.
Edie's like been playing with whatever she's grabbed last and looks up. She's like, what? What were we talking about?
You were sharing what you were doing on the road and the journey.
Was I? Yeah, we're taking him so he can open his shop. That's what he was telling you about.
Oh.
And then we found points to the other person that we
dwarf.
have with us. The
What
dwarf.
about the dwarf?
Yeah, she's just sitting there quietly.
She was really hurt, so Rose helped her, and now we're taking her as far as we can before she goes to the magic school, which I'm very excited to learn more about.
Yes, the Brittlebane Academy. I believe you said academy? Perhaps you know of it?
I have heard of the Brittlebane Academy. Very highly regarded school. Very very top of the line. Very hard to get into. So if you said nephew. Oh, that's right. That's right. My nephew. If he attends, then he must be very intelligent indeed. Thank you. He's right. He's right smart, that one. Good. Well, do you have any stories of your journeys? Any adventures? I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, there's been a lot that's been happening. We've only been traveling together as a group for a short while, but yeah, there's been a lot of adventures, a lot of creatures. There were these fish creatures that we came across and fought. Some sea witches.
Those sound nasty. I'm glad you're all safe.
There was the
Because
dinner
otherwise-
party that kept resetting. We had a dinner party that was stuck in the time loop. That was rather fun.
He leans forward.
Oh, that was terrible.
That probably won't happen here tonight, but if you have enough brandy, it might seem like it.
We killed some devils.
Sure. Wait, what?
Went through a portal.
Uh-huh.
That happened.
Well,
We got turned into fish. Did you say that, Rose?
Oh yeah, we also got turned into fish. I said we fought these fish creatures.
I nearly forgot that
that
part.
is
Yeah,
um,
I was a goldfish.
that is amazing. Wow. You are all truly remarkable. You are
We're
you are
heroes.
all- Indeed. Well,
Yes. Highly effective rapscallions offering esoteric services, if we're being business proposition-y. Just in case you have anything waiting in the wings in need of our services.
currently I don't, but you know what? I'll think about it overnight and maybe let you know in the morning.
That is most gracious. Thank you.
Fun.
Yes, well, it is getting rather late. We have beds. We could make up rooms for you if you would like to sleep in a nice warm bed tonight.
Wherever you have space.
Oh, we have plenty of space. That's not an issue.
Yeah, if you could
we-
put
we-
us all in the same room, that would be really great.
Are you all?
Together, yes.
Yeah. Oh, good to know. Good to know. He
And
looks
we're
over
staying
at his
together.
wife. He looks over at his wife.
Do you happen to be a fan of pineapples, Mr. Rasmorn?
I have been known to partake from time to time, yes.
That's
But, I think for now,
On pizza, can we get some made up?
Out of
maybe for
curiosity,
the road.
that workshop of yours, is it soundproof at all?
Stop it.
It is. It is. There can sometimes be some rather loud explosions coming from there, and you have to just, do your best not to startle the staff. So, anyhow, you all want to sleep in the same room. That's doable. May not be the most comfortable situation, but it sounds like you're all familiar with the process, and
We're
so,
accompanied to tight spaces.
Yes, we're fine with that. And Namara will just reach over and grab whoever's hands she's sitting next to.
Eldon and and Oriff are like, can we have our own rooms? We're not. I don't know what this is, and I just met
You're
them.
missing out then.
It's just close. We're just super close, when you're like really close
I
to
just
people, you
met
want to be
them-
close to them.
I just met them earlier today, and I'd like my own room if that's possible. I'm not saying you're not nice. I'm truly appreciative. I'm just not ready for that level yet, perhaps.
When people don't stay in our room,
That's
they
okay.
die.
No.
That's possibly an exaggeration. It has nothing to do with explosions. I was actually going to ask if I might borrow your workshop for a little bit. I don't want to intrude. You've already been so gracious. I just was curious if I could do a little bit of a spot of tinkering before bed.
That would be okay. Would you like me to? I mean, I would love to. Is it okay if I accompany you and see what you're working on?
Yes, I think that should be fine. I might be able to gain some insights from you.
I would be more than happy to contribute my wealth of knowledge to what you're doing. The rest of you, you are welcome to stay here for a while. You may retire. Welmyra can show you to your rooms, or one of my servants, whichever you prefer.
Whatever's easiest.
So Welmyra will direct you guys. Please follow me. You have to forgive my husband. He's eccentric was the word that was most often used to describe him. And when he gets with another tinker-brained individual, he kind of loses it. So if he was out of sorts, I apologize.
No, not at all.
I think we might have been the ones that were a little out of sorts, but
She kind of looks at you and let me. She shows you your room, and as you open it up, it is actually a king-size bed, so it will hold some of you comfortably. And then she's like,
I mean, Rose is like half a person, so
Sure.
that's like.
Well, so is she. She understands.
Yeah.
She just looks at you and just kind of looks at Chorus and then Maya, and she's like, and I'll leave you to your rooms then. And this is a pretty quiet portion of the house as well. No one's likely to disturb you or you to disturb others. So
That's good to know. Thank you.
She just walks away.
I was gonna say before she does, just continuing the ruse, she's gonna grab her hand.
We're really confused.
And just before she leaves, Edie's like, and if you feel like joining us at any point, don't worry, you can just come in. Night.
She looks back and gets a little smile on her face and then walks back the rest of the way. Vix.
The second she's gone, Nemea drops the hand.
I love our sleepovers.
Vix, Rasmorn leads you back to the shop. And yeah, what were you wanting to work with?
Have you ever? I am a little bit new to this, and I'm sort of floundering my way through it. I'm inheriting some designs from another inventor, and I was wondering if you might have some insights. I'm looking in how to create more of these, not necessarily in this exact shape, but similar device, different parameters, so to speak. And Vix will show him the palm pistol and the accompanying bullets.
So he takes the bullets for the palm pistol and like looks them over, and I see, and then he looks at the palm pistol. Yes, this is pretty common design, I would think, for this sort of device. What are you trying to compare it to, or make it? What are you trying to? You said to make something comparable, but not for this device.
Yes, I'm a long way out. I have yet to build the actual device itself, but I was looking at more of this kind of specification. And Vix will show him the notes that they've been taking that are like the difference in the cartridge size between the two and different length and payload and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, yes, of course. Honestly, that you just need. It looks like maybe a mold, maybe some casings. How are you anticipating holding the force of the power behind it? Because this by itself is just a trajectory. This is something itself that is shot out. Were you planning on like having this attached to some sort of casing, or were you having the projectile, the explosion, the combustion coming from another source? What were you intending?
The intention was for it to work in a similar style as to this pistol here, but with a rotating set of chambers. Still activated in very much the same way that this uses this hammer and lever sort of setup here.
Of course. Well, and he takes like measuring implements and like kind of takes your chart and like let's get the exact, and he like goes through the process of like measuring out like the exact size of the what you'd be looking for your bullets. Go ahead and make a tinkering check with advantage.
Okie dokie. Int or dex?
I would say you passed the intelligence portion of it. At this point,
Okay.
you already know what you're looking for. You're just trying to see if you can put it into actuality.
Okay, so
Dex.
dexterity. Ooh, man. Needed the advantage, bad. That is... Let me make sure that I'm adding this number right. Yes. So 19.
Between the two of you, you are able to come up with what you think might be a functional single, like you've got measurements, you've got everything, and a functional maybe single bullet for your futuristic device that you haven't designed yet. So I think this will work based on those dimensions and everything. This should be what you're looking for.
This has been invaluable. I've never actually made one of these, and I was too terrified to take these other ones apart. So this is perfect.
And he like puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm glad you could do it here with me this first time.
It has indeed been a wonderful chat. This genuine serendipity on the road. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I'm terribly sorry if I have not introduced myself. I am Vix.
Vix, it is a pleasure. I sense that you also like to take things that are good and make them better. So, good on you. Let's It is much later now. We should probably get you to your room. I can show you the way if you'd like.
That would be most excellent. Thank you so much for this time in your workshop here.
Absolutely. He leads you up the stairs towards the rooms, and he like points at a door. He's like, "That's your room. I will leave you to it." And he just kind of smiles slyly as he walks away.
Vix gives a very deep bow. Thank you so much for your hospitality. Sorry, a thought just popped into my head. You haven't heard of a man named Dorabak, have you?
Dorabak. That name sounds familiar. Does he travel in the magical community?
Yes, I'm going entirely based off of reputation here. I believe he's a gnome, dabbled in necromancy, and
yes.
The only reason I say anything is that he's a little odd, and that is not to say that odd is bad. It's just that you felt like you struck a chord in that sort of eccentric but passionate kind of way.
Yes. Now that you mention necromancy and gnome, yes, I have heard of him. Wasn't he in Loch HIllbrand? Isn't that where you're going?
I believe that is where I heard of it, yes. I was sort of researching the town before we went there, sort of getting to know the who's who, so to speak.
I think you've described him perfectly. Eccentric, but maybe without a catalyst to focus it.
Interesting. Any words of wisdom, words of caution, perhaps, if we are to cross paths with him?
People who have no catalyst, no level of focus, end up turning chaos out about them. So things that maybe they intend to good, they overstep and really just lose control of what they're attempting to do. So I would say caution is indeed my recommendation when dealing with somebody of Dorvak's nature.
Your graciousness and hospitality once again, just coming through in spades. Thank you so much.
It's been our pleasure, and I hope that you will consider staying on longer than just the night. But in the meantime, please enjoy your sleep, enjoy your stay, and we will see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. I shall go try and get some rest.
Sure you will.
Vic saunters into the room.
Okay. You guys needing or wanting to do anything? Is everybody else asleep at this point? What is happening?
Nemea would have stayed up until Vix joined them again.
I think Edie would have just been playing with Nemea's hair while we were both staying up waiting until everyone was in the room before going to bed.
Vix's mouth opens to make a comment and then sees that Edie's still there and just gives a little nod. All is well.
Yeah?
All is very
Did you have
well.
fun?
I did. I learned some things.
Yay.
As you are all in your room for the night, with Eldon and Oriff being in another room because they're not sure about you yet, getting ready for your long rest, you hear a voice come through a vent in your room. It really has been such a pleasure having you all as our guests tonight. It really, if I've not said it enough, it's so rare that we have visitors. So thank you so much. We've really just tried to take that whole idea of taking something good and making it better. So we hope that you will find these accommodations satisfactory. They will, after all, be the final accommodations you ever need. Trust me when I say this, nothing is personal. My research must continue, and unfortunately, we do not get many volunteers for this kind of thing. I hope in time you will understand, if not in this life, then perhaps in the next. Rest well. We will not meet again. As the words fade, you all feel your eyes begin to grow heavy. You feel your arms and legs, but you cannot seem to make them respond to your control.
Whose idea was this?
One by one, you succumb to the effects and fall unconscious. After several minutes, the door opens and servants come in and start grabbing your bodies and dragging them out of the room. And that is where we will end today's session.
Oh, too
I
good to
am
be
in
true.
danger.
I thought we were into some weird shit.
Actual.
They could have just
Yeah, Chris-
asked.
Yeah.
We could have just asked.
I mean, I
No
told
one
them just to pop in.
So be sure to check back in next week to find out what is going on. What? This just turned into this went from a weird party to a really weird party. So be sure to come back next week to see what happens. And
The password was
until
not
then,
Fidelio.
the password was not. But until then, be good to yourself, be good to others. We love you very much. And are you ready for more tales? Good night, everybody.
Yes. Always.
Always. Bye-bye.
Bye.